the scammers, the drug dealers, the robbers, and the crooks.
Well, actually...
And I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife, could've left 1,000 times just so by my side. This one's for the grind, I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind.
It's the Travel OG, and welcome to the Black Manosphere Conclave 5.0!
We got started in 2021 in Atlanta, united in the pursuit of excellence in all things. It's been one hell of a ride.
Can I tell you what's on my mind? Cause I've been thinking about it for quite some time. Hey, can you give me a moment to declare my love? Can I tell you what's on my mind?
We're now focusing more on opportunities for men, in particular passport bros. Guys who go abroad, they want to have a different lifestyle, they want to have a different achievement abroad. Oh yeah, there's without a doubt the narrative has changed for us greatly.
I just finished speaking and having a chance to tell individuals about how to live the American dream outside of America. And I was here to help so many men when it comes to understanding what they need to do in order to relocate.
With the political climate, things that are happening worldwide, guess what? Nobody's coming to save us. So it is indicative that we all bound together, tighten up like a fist, and strike a mighty blow against everything that's fighting to stop us, man.
It's nothing but good, positive people, good, positive energy with one goal in mind, and that is to make money, get the hell out the Matrix, and enjoy your life. You dig? So shout out to all of y'all. Theme music.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is your man Marcus A. Brown, and I'm here to tell y'all that I just got done with my first consultation with the brother Andre of Love Crossing Borders. I just wanted to give him his praises. I need y'all to do two things if you haven't already. If you haven't, subscribe to his YouTube channel, Love Crossing Borders. Also, if you are going to Colombia, if you're thinking of going anywhere, traveling internationally, please consider booking a consultation with the OG Andre of Love Crossing Borders. You will not be disappointed. And y'all, get in tune with him if you haven't already. Tell him MAB sent you. Peace.
Where are all the black men? And I'm not talking about the scammers, the drug dealers, the robbers, and the crooks.
Well, actually...
They're here with Andre and Andrea's Love Crossing Borders. So let's get started. Shout out to you guys for your patience. I love her, but I had to leave her. I mean, she was the one, the only. She gave me the best of the best of the best. Best cars, she gave it to me. Best opportunities, she gave it to me. She was wild with it. But I had to leave her. The crazy part was, even when I was leaving her, I didn't even want to leave her, but I had to still leave her. This is the sentiments of over 11 million Americans, such as many of you guys and ladies and us, guys that are here in Colombia. We had to leave America. We were done. Do we love America? Yes. Do we care what happens to America? Yes. Did we leave never to return? For most of us, yeah. And nothing is wrong with that. And even a CIA agent has decided that even he is leaving. We talked about this agent before, but he's gone into more details over the past few years about why he is taking his children and leaving the country that he loves so much, just like the rest of us. How many times have you guys left an ex that you still loved? How many times do you think about nostalgic moments with an ex, but you still had to leave her? So it was with me, and so it is with the CIA agents, and so it is with over 11, going on 12 million Americans that have decided that they're leaving the United States. In record numbers, even women. 45% of American women, black, white, no matter what race, have said if they had the opportunity, I'm saying that again, 45%, not 25, not 35, not 5%, but 45% of American women said if they had the opportunity to leave America, even though they love America, they would leave also. So we're going to hear tonight what that CIA agent had to say, why he is so adamant as a CIA agent to take his family and as soon as possible follow the blueprint that many of us have already laid. The American dream is over. If I had a drink right now other than some cocoa, I would say cheers. It lasted years. It had a long run. But for most of us, not based on the economy, but based on the track record over the last 10, 20 years, we can lie to ourselves. But the truth is, the American dream, RIP. That's tonight's topic tonight. Shout out to all you guys that are here. Shout out to all you guys that are here. Appreciate you gentlemen being here. Tonight is a motivational, inspirational episode. This is not tears and blues, and it is not the sky is falling Chicken Little moment. It's the truth. I'm going to say this again. Shout out to all 39 in the building. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you click that like button. We like you. We really do. Make sure that you like us too. This is an episode to motivate the guys and ladies that are on the fence of, should I relocate? Why should I relocate? Because that's very important. Why should you relocate? I'll talk about my why. And the CIA agent tonight will talk about his why. Why did this brother, why did this man decide, after him being a U.S. CIA agent, loving the United States, after him having a career of being a man in charge of a nuclear team? Yes, he's one of the men that his job for quite a few years was being in charge of one of the nuclear teams in the United States that was around his neck every day. That was his job. 6 miles underground in a bunker. And if he ever got that call, it was his job and the other person's job to turn the key to launch the missile. And this guy has decided, after being there for America, he's got to get his family out of there ASAP. What is it that causing him to say, I got to get my family, get myself out of this scenario ASAP. What is it that I'm saying? In over 11 million, going on 12 million and counting Americans have decided that I'm leaving the United States, and it don't look like I'm coming back to live anytime too soon. Before we get started with that, let me get started with the shout out with you gentlemen. Yes, sir. Let me turn that music down quite a bit. Let me turn that music down. All right. Shout out to all you guys that are here. This is Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. Appreciate you all being here. I really do. This is a wonderful Sunday night. We're having a great day, but it's all about you. This has nothing to do with Andre. I'll say this again. This episode has very little to do with Andre. This is to motivate and encourage you guys and ladies who are thinking about relocating to another country. I don't care what country that is, but if it's your place of peace, so be it. Let's get started. Good evening to you as well, Kenny. Shout out to Kenny Peoples. Hope you guys have a great day today, this Sunday. He say this was an idea because of boutique, Panama. No, I don't know, but let me write that down. Where's my pen? Let me write that down just to do some homework in regards to that, Kenny. I didn't know anything about that area, but I'm going to write that down and do some homework in regards to that. Thank you for letting me know. Shout out to David Dice in the building, of the Dice family, that is. Appreciate you being here. He says, sitting on deck, sitting on the dock of the bay, waiting for my plane to ride and take me away. Yes, sir. I ain't blaming you, brother. Have a great time and a safe flight. Salute to you as well. Salute to all you guys that are here. Yes, sir. Right here, let me scroll down a little further because we got my brother in the building. Glad to see that you're here. Good evening to you as well, Marquise. Glad to see that you're here. Appreciate you being here, brother. Good evening. This is going to be a good one. If you guys are looking for to keep you encouraged and motivated video, this is that episode tonight. Some of you guys have been ridiculed and mocked because you travel to other countries or you travel to other states, and family members and friends and coworkers don't understand why you travel so much. I got your back. Oh, I got your back tonight. This episode is to keep you encouraged. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Milner himself. Ahmad Milner in the building. Salute to you, kind sir. Salute to you as well as my brother Ronan Travelers. Good morning to all you guys that are out there in Southeast Asia. I don't care if it's just the Philippines, like my brother Ronan. Shout out to him and his all his family out there that takes care of him, because at this time period, she's not just a loved one, she's family. Shout out to her being out there and her family that takes care of you and encourages you. I know how my family and my wife's family encourages and take care of me out here. Shout out to all you guys that are in Vietnam and Korea. Shout out to all you guys that are out there in India, Mongolia. I don't care if it's China or Japan or Indonesia. I don't care if you guys are out there in the Philippines or in Thailand. I don't care. Good morning to every one of you. It's a brand new day for you to do brand new things in a brand new country. Shout out to all you guys that are out there. I'm so excited, man. This episode has me extremely excited. I just can't hide it. And like the Pointer Sisters, I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Shout out to you guys being here. My brother Rico in the building. Glad to see that you're here. Salute to you, Rico, and to all the gentlemen that are here. Salute to my brother Eman Perry in the building as well. Salute to you, Eman Perry. Appreciate you, brother. And good evening to you too. Good evening to you too. He said the American dream is using American dollars overseas. Absolutely correct. To live great and healthy lives. Hey, I couldn't have said it any better. We can end this live stream right now with that statement. That's what it's all about. I kid you not, gentlemen. I wish I could make it different, but he said everything that I was going to be saying for the next few hours. Bobby Coltrane of the Coltrane family is in the building. And Bobby says this: salute to everybody in the chat. This should be a good one tonight. Yes, I am so excited because it is an encouraging episode. Some of us guys, I know what it's like to be on the fence of whether you want to leave and go to the United States. or go to a country outside the United States, outside of Canada, outside of Australia, outside of UK, outside of the West and the Western behavior. Dude, I know what it's like. Ronan knows what it's like. Jay Clyde knows what it's like. T-Mac, Will, and all you guys out there that have traveled. You know what it's like and how nervous you can be in the beginning. But that's the amazing, beautiful part. That nervousness pays off when you come to these other countries. Kid you not, man. I kid you not. Shout out to T-Mac being in the building. Salute to you as well, T-Mac. Salute to you, our fellow Colombian brethren in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Let me scroll down and let's see who else I can give a great shout out to. Let me scroll down. Yes, sir, my man Guardian being in the building, Mr. Z Live himself. Shout out to Garfield representing. Glad to see that you're here, Garfield. Appreciate you, bro. This is going to be a good one tonight, bro. I'm glad that you're here. He said, I had to be here for this one. I just had to be here for this one. Yes, sir, gentlemen. Yes, sir. This is here to it. This one is to encourage you guys. I've been on the fence. I'm going to say this again. I've been on that fence of whether I should do it or shouldn't. I gave myself all the excuses that you guys give yourselves. Family, finance, fears or worries. I kid you not. I had all the excuses you guys had. So if you think I'm going to say something or the CIA agent is going to say something new tonight, no. In regards to what you should do, no. We're here to encourage you this evening. We're here to encourage you. And shout out with the first super chat, my brother Will being in the building. Glad to see you here, Will Bro. 61 in the building. He say channel support from OG Will. Yes, sir. Retired countdown. He said 1.5 years and I'll be based in Thailand. Yes, sir, Will. Yes, sir. But only for a few months out of the year. And that's how you do it. I kid you not, guys. Let me kind of like turn this down for a second. You don't have to relocate to a country full time initially. This is one of the things I want to encourage you guys on. I did not move to Colombia full time initially. My brother Pro For You, him and his wife in DR, their YouTube channel is Love, Purpose, and Passports. Make sure you subscribe. Great couple. You will just enjoy them like you enjoy me and Andrea. Love, Purpose, and Passports. Brother named Mr. Pro For You. 7 years it took him before he finally officially moved to DR. 7 years. Was he going back and forth? And then he got himself where he was living in DR periodically. Yes, same thing with Taylor Made Dreams. Shout out to Russ. 5 years before he officially lived full time in DR. Even though on his first 2 trips, he purchased a piece of property in DR. But it still took him 5 years to officially move full time to DR. I'm here to tell you guys, I didn't do. Mine was 3.5 to 5 years. I already had an apartment here. Did I live here full time? No. Just like my brother said, he's 100% correct. When you are looking to relocate to another country, you don't have to move there full time. It's not an either or decision. These countries are so dude, my first apartment, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, all utilities included, Wi-Fi included, in the suburbs, security. It was only 3 floors, $325 a month. I'm talking about all the utilities, all the Wi-Fi, all the cable, all the security in the suburbs here in Cali, $325 a month. You think I couldn't pull off $325 a month even though I wasn't living full time in Colombia yet? Yes, I could. That was just a cigar and brandy money. If I let go of the cigars and brandy, I could get a place in Colombia. So even though I hadn't lived here full time yet, I was just like my brother, part-time in the States, part-time in my dream country, part-time mostly in the States, part-time in my dream country, until it got to the point where I was more in my dream country and part-time in the States. So it went from me being like 10 months, 12 months in the States, 1 month throughout the year, kind of breaking it down in Colombia. And then it went to 3 months in Colombia, about 9 months in the States. And then it went from 9 months in the States to 6 months Colombia, 6 months in the States. And then it broke down to all the way to like 1 month in the States. True story. 1 month in the States to close off taking care of business, right? 11 months in Colombia to where on November 29th, 2019, I was 100% in Colombia. This brother is giving you the blueprint of how you're supposed to do it. Take your time with whatever country you choose. It's going to take you some time just to choose a country. So if you plan on moving, you got your kids are like 7. It's going to take 10 years before they turn to 17, right? That gives you enough time to start visiting countries and decide on which one you would think that you want to move to by the time your child turns or children turn 17 or 20 or 25, whatever it may be. Once again, before I go back to the comments, it's not an either or. It's actually an and. I live in America and Colombia. I live in America and Thailand. I live in America and the Philippines. It starts off with and, not either or. So all you guys that think that you need to move full time to Mexico in order to move to Mexico, that's not true. You can move to another country just like my brother is doing, just like I did, just like Ace Live did, just like Taylor Made Dreams did, just like Checking Effects did. You move part-time and overtime. Eventually you're there full-time. Shout out to you, brother. Once again. He said, but only for a few months. He said, I'll be traveling and moving around. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Shout out to you, brother. And Will says, he said, also a part of Malaysia. Is that Malaysia we see? He said, in part in Panama. This man has a master plan, I tell you, a master plan. He's plotting, twisting his mustache, if you will. That's exactly how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Let me scroll back up, make sure I get all my brothers with the shout outs. We got 65 in the building. You guys are going to enjoy this one. Make sure that you're here for this live stream. Make sure you're here for this one. Let me scroll down and give a shout out to all you guys. I didn't realize 65 brothers. Shout out to Don, a.k.a. Don D. Don JP. Don says, make sure you hit that like button on your way in. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much. He said, the monetization is a full goal. He said, all I can do now is to stack my money. Check. He said, soon as I get the right amount, I'm out of here too. Absolutely correct. Like I said, my brother gave us the blueprint. Do not rush to move out full time. You can do just like I did and like he's talking about. You can move to different countries part-time until you find yourself a full-time country. Absolutely correct. Our brother Ransom's in the building. We're going to have a good night now. Ransom's here. We're going to have a good night. I am Demore. Yes, sir. Glad to see that you're here. Yes, sir. Amid being here. Amid is in the building. Let's scroll down a little further. And Keith, shout out to my boy Keith being in the building. Salute to you, brother. Glad to see that you're here, man. You're making my night. You're making my night, Keith. You're making my night. And the official one from the top of the Shaolin Temple is my brother Kobe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Charles B. Yes, sir. Glad it from Mexico. Representing Mexico. Hey, man, I love Mexico. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I don't blame you for being in Mexico. I do not blame you. Shout out to my man D-Well. Dale in the building, that is. Mr. Justin himself, salute to you, kind sir, salute to you. Glad to see that you're here, as well as Zeta is in the building. What are we doing right tonight? Zeta's in the building. Shout out, Winifred is in the building. Man, we doing some good things tonight. He said, Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4. Then I heard a voice, and I've been studying Revelations lately, so I'm with you, brother. He said, then I heard a voice from heaven saying, come out from, what if you don't preach? If you don't preach, come out from her, my people. Do not take part in her sins. Do not take part in her sins, or you will be punished with her. There are countries that we know that they on their way to punishment. There are countries that let's not play dumb. Throughout the Bible, throughout the Quran, they talk about countries. The prophets in the Quran, the prophets in the Bible, the prophets in other books have talked about when countries, they had a price to pay. The debt was due, if you will. And we'll read about those countries and we'll say, oh, wow, God warned them, oh, well. But then when it comes to our country, we don't want to hear God saying, okay, now. We don't want to hear God saying that. But when we open up our Bibles and our Qurans and our other teachings, oh, we will watch another country got to pay the piper. But when it's our turn to pay the piper as U.S. citizens, we don't want to hear that. God don't do that no more. No country pays the piper anymore, which is not true. Brother is absolutely correct. Shout out to AMSM. The building, a man supporting men is in the building. Yes, sir. Glad to see that you're here. Top Notch Rocker is in the building. My dude. Family. It's family right here, gentlemen. Shout out to you, brother, being in the building. Let me scroll down a little further. He said, yeah, or you will be punished with her. Once again, to be said. Shout out to my brother Jay Kaysen in the building. Glad to see that you're here, sir. He said, got my place booked for August, heading to Aruba. Oh, bruh. It is so beautiful in Aruba. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Wait till you get to that water and that beach, that white beach in the turquoise water. Goodness gracious, man. Yeah, you're gonna have a good time. Shout out to my brother Bean in the building as well. He said, hello, Andre. How you feeling today, Sunday evening? I'm feeling great, man. Just got a new book from Dr. Jordan Peterson. Got Jordan Peterson's book, and it is the 12 Rules for Life. You know, man, Andrea loved to read. I told y'all my job. I'm told y'all my secret. I married a nerd chick. I ain't crazy. Old soul, homebody, nerd chick. While the rest of y'all trying to deal with them crazy Colombianas out there because they got a big butt and a smile. Cool. My wife got a big butt, big breast, and a smile, and she a nerd chick with the thick glasses and all that. And so we went to a bookstore and we got Dr. Jordan Peterson's book. She actually bought her mom a gift at the bookstore. She bought her mom a Bible. I know her mom doesn't watch the English version of this show, but she purchased her mom a Bible for Mother's Day. That's coming up soon. So her mom's going to have her Bible. Andrea already purchased one. And so I was there. I said, let me look for a new book. So I looked for a new book to purchase. So I purchased Dr. Jordan Peterson's book. Shout out to Dr. Peterson. And so I'm excited about reading this book, as well as other books that I have coming out myself, as well as one that I owe you guys in regards to who donated this past December to the Children's Cancer Foundation. So shout out to all you guys that are here. And shout out to you guys for supporting by way of Patreon as well. Let me scroll down. I think I got Will already in regards to Malaysia. And David Dice says this, the $10 love. He said, I had a place in mind, but the requirements are too much for citizenship. They want you to, they want you to renounce. It sounds like Japan. No, it can't be Japan. Is it Japan? Hey, T-Mac, do they? Let me know, guys. Does Japan ask you to renounce? I thought it was Japan that asked you now to renounce your U.S. citizenship? Let me know. Renounce your citizenship. No dual citizenship. Must reside for 10 years continuously. Oh, in Laos. I didn't know Laos was like that. I did not know that. But I still want to know about Japan, but I didn't know that about Laos. Guys, I'll take my dual citizenship, but I'm not about to throw away my U.S. citizenship. I love America, man. I love my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. I'll talk about her, but I'm not about to get rid of her. Yeah, I love America, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to my man James in the field. And James says this. He say, why do they want to leave now? After all, some of them helped create the problem anyway. This is true, brother. He say, and now they want to relocate. Tis true. A lot of people, whether it was them or their family members, were part of the problem here or there in the United States. They caused it. They either voted for it or were a part of the machine, and many of us were, not just them, many of us were. But at the end of the day, you either stay in the problem or do something to get away from the problem. And a lot of people said, listen, I don't have the power by myself, the power of change. I'm going to say that again. A lot of people are leaving because they realize at this stage, my vote doesn't matter. And I'm not talking about presidential or Congress. I mean, their vote for their local judge, their local alderman, city council, mayors, DAs and assistant DAs. It's just the more that you try to even do stuff on a grassroots level, the worse that you see it getting. So even those of us who have not been problematic and we have tried to fight for change, the sad part is it's not happening. United States is being what she was born to be, and we don't want to admit it. I'll say this again. The United States is being what she was born to be, created to be. She was created to be a corporation, and that's what she is. The United States is a company. It is also a country that is literally, and I'm not saying figuratively, you can look it up. United States actually has an incorporation number. A lot of you guys don't realize it is literally, I'm not saying it fictitiously or comparing or metaphor. You can look it up. The United States of our America literally has a corporation number that you can look up. That's how much it's all about business. It's not about the people. You're going to hear some things tonight, man, that's going to have you flabbergasted from the CIA agent that's leaving. And I agree with you. The CIA, the FBI, and all the rest of them didn't help us as American citizens. But their loyalty was never to American citizens. I'm going to say this early before we get a chance to get in depth with this. And I'm going to turn the music all the way down. I want you guys to realize something. And I mean this, and you're going to discover this tonight. The CIA, the FBI, the U.S. military, U.S. government officials on a federal level, the IRS, CDC, in the federal courts, which is the Supreme Court, were never created or established for Americans. I think the biggest mistake that Americans assume is that the president is there for Americans. The president, according to how America works. This is not a put down of our country. I want you guys to listen closely. The presidency Senate, House of Representatives, all three branches, our Supreme Court was never established for Americans. They were established for America. All Americans could leave, but America existence will remain. And we as Americans can be replaced. The land of America can't be replaced. I die off, another American is born, right? You die off, another American is born, right? Americans come and go, right? American is born, American dies. American is born, American dies. What doesn't die at all? The land or the country or the territory known as America. It is Trump's job not to protect Americans. Yes, it is. I'm going to say this again. All of our military might, all of our nuclear might is not in place to protect Americans. We've been sold on that. The truth is, it is their job to protect America. You will die off, and your great-grandkids will be the new Americans, won't they? And they will die off. And Americans get frustrated, and we picket, and we boycott. What happens? Nothing. You know why? Because the states are there for Americans in each state. So the states make sure that Americans are taken care of. Remember during COVID, who gave you a stimulus check? Was it the president, Biden, or did you get it from the Secretary of State? Were those checks coming from Secretary of State or the federal government? Did not the federal government send that money to our state departments, and the states disperse that money to Americans? Don't ever make the mistake of thinking America will not be able to survive without Americans. No, Americans won't be able to survive without America. Don't you ever get it twisted. We are expendable. I think Americans do not want to admit that. All of us, they could delete me in a millisecond and replace me in a millisecond. They cannot delete and replace America in a millisecond. And a lot of us don't know that. A lot of us haven't researched it. And a lot of us, even when you find out, you don't want to admit it. A lot of our military men have put their lives on the line, and they sold you Americans are what you are protecting. No, you protected the Republic of America, because Americans come and go, come and go, come and go. Born, die, 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 born, die. Americans come, Americans go. If all Americans were wiped out of America, do y'all think they could replace us? Do y'all think that people will come from Europe, from Africa, from South America? If all 400 million of us, boom, wiped off because of whatever reason, right? The rapture, whatever. Do you think the land of America will still exist without us? The land, the country itself? Yes. America does not need Americans like you think it does. I'll say that again. America does not need Americans like we think they do, or think it does. America needs federal structure of government. Yes, it needs a president, vice president, Senate, House of Representatives, and the third branch, which is the Supreme Court. All the other branches are created, or the other cabinets or the other positions are created by way of the president. He creates those or put people in positions that are part of his cabinet, correct? So as long as you have a president, vice president, as long as you have you can replace a military. All of our military men and women can leave. Do you not think that there's enough foreigners that will come over and do our jobs to be able to stay in this country? Do you not realize there's enough foreigners that will say, if I could live in America, I would join their military? Let's say no American born say, I want to join the military. I'm not doing it. Let's say no American said they were going to do that. Do you not realize that there are people around the world that's waiting in line to join our military if they could stay in America? I'm just laying a foundation for our show tonight. I came to this conclusion. I came to peace with it. I am replaceable. America is not. The biggest mistake that Americans make, you think that America and Americans are one. America and Americans are not the same. We've never been the same. Never. From George Washington fighting for America, he didn't fight for Americans. He fought for America, to Abraham Lincoln, all the way down to Trump. It's their job as on a federal, not state. Notice I said the states are there for Americans, but on a federal level, they are there to protect and continue the strength and the growth of America. That's why presidents don't listen to Americans when we fuss and cuss and we scream and yell. And you notice that no matter what president is in office, they still focus on one thing: America. And we'll sit back and we'll scratch our head. Why is that president doing this? Why is this president doing that? What's going on? I don't get it. We're going to boycott. We're going to picket. Do it. Do it. Every once in a while that works. But for the most part, no president has sat back and focused only on Americans when his actual job is to protect America. America. What do they teach us in school? My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Americans or America. We were taught to pledge allegiance to the flag of America and to the republic for which it stands. One what? Nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all in the end. But in the beginning of our pledge, it says, I pledge allegiance to what? Americans or America. We pledge allegiance to the land, the corporation, in other words, known as America. Americans are replaceable, dispendable. They'll sell you and tell you, no, they're not. Yes, they are. Let all 400 million of us leave. There will be 400 million people taking our place in every position, but America will still exist. Even if all of us decide to leave, which won't happen. But I'm just laying a foundation for tonight that this CIA agent is letting us know. which I already know. Do not get America and Americans twisted. It is, we are not the same. It is not the same. And it hurts a lot of us Americans to hear this. What? You mean the president is not there for you? No, the president is there for you eventually. The states are there for you automatically. They're there for the people. Why do you think the federal government sends money to the states? Why do you think the states the state departments ask the federal government for money? Because it is each state's job to take care of Americans. Your state takes care of Americans. It's the president's job to take care of America. It is not the president's job to take care of Americans. I don't know why. They'll sell it and they'll say it, but when you look at it for what it is, the state departments take care of Americans, me, you, your family. You go to the Secretary of State, you go to state departments. You need some help, it's the states that help you. You need welfare, the states have your money. All that you need as American citizen, you ever know it comes through the states? It doesn't come through the feds, it comes through the states. States take care of Americans. So what is the federal department is? Federal takes care of the country known as the United States of America. It is Trump's job to take care of the landmass known as 50 states of America. It is not his job to sit back and make sure we get welfare. That's the State Department. That's the State Department. When they shut down the federal government those weeks and everybody talking about, I ain't gonna get my check. Who distributes the check or the monies or the EBT? Does it come from the Fed or does it come from your state? It comes from your state who gets the EBT money from the feds. We think we know everything though. Like I said, I ain't gonna have enough time to go through everybody. I ain't gonna even lie. Because I see that tonight we got 74 people in the building. And I want to make sure I get to this topic. Like I said, we got a shout out my Uncle Jeffrey being in the building. Fresh out the shower, tapping in. I just dropped him off at his Airbnb. Jeffrey hit. Shout out to Ghostface here in Cali, Colombia. Appreciate you, brother. Yep. He said the federal responsibility is only the military and not the healthcare or child care. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, T-Mac. Absolutely correct. Yep. It is the state departments that take care of us as people. He said, in the military, I swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. He did not say the United States of Americans. Our military does not swear to protect Americans. It's just a slogan. Yes, they're there for Americans to defend America. No, the military dudes already know. My job is to defend America. If all y'all are wiped out and the landmass known as America is still here, it's the military's job to defend America. America. Y'all better get that through y'all mind, man. If y'all sit back thinking that America and Americans are the same thing, it's not, and it's never been. And it's not a bad thing. I'm going to say this again. It's not a bad thing. It's the republic in which we were raised in. I accept the fact that my states, it's their job to look out for my well-being, whether it be Medicaid, Medicare, EBT cards, homeless shelters. If I'm going through dire straits in the states, it's my state that normally looks out for me. It's my mayors, it's my governors, it's my city councilmen. It's my state department that takes care of me. So it is with you guys. I have no problem embracing the fact that it is President Trump's job to take care of America. And if Americans ain't happy about it, that ain't his job. That ain't his job. I'm gonna say that again. Y'all can fuss and cuss at Trump all you want. It is not his job to take care of Americans. It is his job on the federal level to take care of America. Long after he's gone as an American, America needs to continue to exist, doesn't it? Long as he, as an American, and all the presidents we've had that are Americans have passed on, has not America continued to be a country? Has it not? You know why? Because every president knows this is his job to protect the sovereignty and the longevity of America, because Americans are born and die, born and die, born and die. Americans come and go, they come and go, they come and go. I will be an American, I'll die American, and I'll be gone, and somebody else that's American will replace Andre. But you cannot replace America. And I know I'm kind of like harping on this, guys, but I really want to lay a strong foundation for a lot of you guys. He said the military has different rules. The military's personnel are all government property, subject to the UCMJ, a different set of rules. Yep, personnel, like staff. Absolutely correct. I like how you worded that, T-Mac. He said, we had a colleague in the military punch a wall and break his hand. We was charged with the destruction of government property. I'll say that again. Shout out to T-Mac. Thank you very much. And shout out to all you ex-military brothers and current military brothers that are here tonight. We had a colleague in the military punch a wall, break his hand. We, and probably he, was charged with the destruction of government property. Why? Because the U.S. military's job is to protect the property and the sovereignty and the longevity of America. Of America. Let's get started with the video. Let me pull this up for us, gentlemen. We're going to hear what the CIA agent had to say.
Freedoms and cultural devolutions, and give us a real a body of reasons that you're just like this. I don't want to be part of this right now. So
now, this gentleman here was not only just a CIA agent. He was a CIA agent after. I'm going to say this again. He's been all over YouTube for like the last 3 years. His wife was a CIA agent. If I'm not mistaken, he has 2 children now. He met her as a CIA agent around the world, like a spy around the world. He also had the job, I forget either it was before or after he was a CIA agent. His job was to be one of the few people in America with a nuclear key. You know how in the movies they try to make it seem like the president is the only one that got a key for the nuclear No. This dude's job was to go in a bunker every day. He said it was so boring. He said he had a key around his neck, 6 miles down. His co-worker, he said they rotated them out. He said, so I might be in a bunker in one state for 6 months. I might be in another bunker in another state because we have nuclear missiles all over the country. He said, I might be in another state. He said, sometimes you get a co-worker that you can get along with. because just you and that other person. And that's not a hole, but it was underwater bunker. I mean, underground bunker. He said, sometimes you get a coworker that's cool as can be. He said, sometimes you get a coworker, man, like, oh my God, I got to do 6 months with this dude. This guy had a key around his neck. He said, I had a key around my neck. He said, once that alarm went off, whether it was a light or whatever it was our job to put the keys in at the same time and twist for those particular weapons to take off, those nuclear weapons to take off. He said, now, mind you, as you can tell, 99% of the time, they were false alarms, like a school alarm. And you know, when the alarm goes off in school and all the kids got to leave the school for the fire alarm, he said that's how it was for us. We would have to put our key in, twist, and it would be a false alarm. He said, but our job was you never knew if it was a false alarm or not. He said, so we're 6 miles underground. We don't know what's going on when they tell us to turn the key. This could really be real nuclear war going on when we turn those keys. He said, so we never knew. This guy right here, he said, we never knew if it was false or if it was real. So they only hired us because we were so dedicated to America that if it took the destructions of Americans, we had to twist. Because if we attack another country, probably another country has attacked us, right? So Americans have been attacked. He said, we never knew what country it was. We never knew any. He said, we never knew anything. All we knew, I had a key, he had a key. And when it was time to twist, whether it was false or real, we didn't know. I think he had this job before the CIA, because he said after doing this for so long, he was like, yeah, I can't do this job no more. Can't do this job no more. And that's when he started looking for other jobs. And that's how he got the CIA job. That's what happened. That's how he got that job. Yeah. Yep. Very thorough video, man. He said, yeah, man, we in the bunker. He said, sometimes you got somebody that you cool, that's a co-worker. He said, sometimes you got an idiot as a co-worker. You got to work with them for 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is, until they move him to another bunker and move you to another bunker. You don't know what state you're going to. You don't know where the location is until you get there. He said, I didn't even know what I was being hired for. He said, I'm ex-military. I go looking for work. He said, I'm on a government website. I apply for a job. I think I qualify. He said, I did not know this was the job that they were hiring me for. They don't tell you that on the job on description. He said, all you do, you looking, you're like, okay, that looks like a good job that I would apply for. Next thing you know, he said, next thing you know, I'm being flown out and interviewed to work in bunkers with the key. So when you guys see in the movies, the president has the key, he said, man, that ain't real. That's fake. He said, if in the Air Force beforehand, then it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he already had security, all that. He had all that. Yep. He had all that. He said, you never question the order. Yep, he said that. That's what he said. You never question the order. Absolutely correct, Ronan. Absolutely correct. He said it was to be verified before it got to us. He said held a high top security clearance. He said it was part of the verification process, Dre. Talking about Ronan in his past. So yeah, kid, you're not. It was crazy, man. This little, he didn't go into detail, so he didn't tell anything that was kind of like breaking any federal rules. He just was telling about how his day was. And you don't think about that there are somebody or some men and women that are sitting around right now that have the key to our weapons. And he said, man, I had it. He said, I ain't gonna even lie. That was my job. Twist. He said, yep. He said it was, I could never question the orders. I could never question the orders. My brother said this. He said, I learned that the citizenship responsibility is keep themselves. Say that again. Once again, America and Americans. It is the citizens' responsibility to keep themselves safe. Then it's whatever agency to assist you after that as Americans. He said, we're about to office welfare first, then we'll secure citizens' safety. So it was all, everything had structure, in other words. Absolutely correct. And we're going to end with T-Mac's statements because we're going to go to the video and I'm going to shut up for quite a while. He said, I learned that it was a boring, that's what he said. That's what he said. He said, having the nuclear key around your neck is not an exciting job. He said it was boring. Absolutely correct. He said, that's why I quit. It wasn't any type of pressure, like I can't do this job anymore. He said it was boring. Absolutely. He said, I did the Department of Defense security clearance. He said, but I avoided the classifications files because I didn't want my name on any list. Yes. Yeah, Zeta said he watched the interview. Yep. Yeah, he did say that. He said it was boring. He said, you would think I got the nuclear key. I'm excited. He said it's boring. He did say that. That's one reason why he quit. Let's continue on.
I want to make sure that I speak for myself, right? I'm not saying this. I don't want to be part of this. I'm saying
no, but you are though. You're
no. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I have 2 children, and those 2 children are my top priority. And what I want for my children is not going to exist in the United States for them for the next 10 to 15 years.
Okay, so then what are those? Perfect. What are those?
I want my children to grow up in an environment where they're allowed to exercise their opinion, their disagreements in a place where it's safe to offer disagreement without social ostracization or violence. In the United States, they're not going to get that. Here in the United States, if you live in a liberal city and you have a conservative opinion, you can't say your conservative opinion out loud or else you face social ostracization or ostracization, whatever the right word is there.
Ostracism.
Ostracism. Thank you, sir.
The North Americans are moving to Latin America because in the past, Latin America was not a free place. But if you look at it right now, it is by far the freest geographical area in the world. It's not Europe or Asia or Africa or the Middle East or any of these other places. It's Latin America and the Caribbean. And the popular countries are Costa Rica, Panama, Paraguay. There's other countries in Latin America where you can pay 0 taxes, completely territorial tax country that are safe, that have right-leaning pro-business governments. There are viable options out there.
1 in 5 Americans would like to leave the country permanently. That's according to a new Gallup survey. And younger women are behind that spike. 2 in 5 women, in fact, from the ages of 15 to 44 now say they want to leave the U.S. for good. That's 4 times as many from 2014 when just 1 in 10 wanted to live abroad.
If you weren't already aware, there are a lot of African.
Notice that they said women. Men, for the most part, we're still on that my country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Women, no offense, ladies, I understand it's hard to get y'all to hold allegiance to a man. Least longer country. If y'all will leave a man at an 80% clip, 80% of the divorces that are filed in the United States are filed by women. If y'all don't have a problem with leaving Americans, I know y'all ain't got no problem, ladies, leaving America. I ain't surprised at none of this. Now, American men, you might be surprised that women, 2 in 5 women are saying, I would leave America just like I will leave an American man. Doesn't matter what race you are, your divorce rate is high. High. Because American women will divorce an American man. And so I ain't surprised to see them say, we will leave America. Let's continue on.
Americans who are actively leaving the United States and going to a number of different countries. And this comment says like, wow, you know, for the first time in history, African Americans will be dispersed around the world instead of like concentrated on this land. And I had a crazy thought, and I just need y'all to like walk with me real quick. What if we aren't supposed to be here? Have we thought about that? What if we aren't supposed to be here? What if we are supposed to leave this country on our own terms? We weren't brought here on our own terms. So what if
Before she goes any further, do realize she's saying here, which means that she is still in the States, and women are promoting and encouraging women, even while they're still in the States, to get out of America. Dude, if y'all real, I can say this easily. I can easily say from all the TikTok videos that I've come across in regards to people leaving the leaving the United States, I could say easily 7 in 10 are by women. Men leave the United States on pleasure trips for the most part. We leave the United States on vacations for the most part. Not saying all, but mostly we go to countries, go to islands, vacation, have fun, enjoy ourselves, and go back to the States, go back to UK, go back to Canada, go back to Australia, right? That's us men. Go back to New Zealand, any westernized country, we going back, right? Not women. Not women. Women, when they get the chance to leave, they out. And I'm telling you, it's all over social media with women. I find more videos of women encouraging and helping women who have children, women who have husbands, helping husbands. Dude, all over TikTok are women that are, dude, the news, NBC, CBS, CNN, they do not interview us dudes. You know, all the interviews I've come across, when it comes to expats, women. I wish I could put it another way. Dude, women are serious about getting out that mother. Men, we kind of toy with it. We kind of toy with it.
we are supposed to leave on our own terms?
My children won't be able to exercise their right to an opinion because they will be socially marginalized at best. At worst, they will be targeted. And everybody is seeing that, because that's why you have conversation topics that you only talk about with your conservative friends and other conversations that you only talk about with your liberal friends.
Yeah. Be fair there. Be fair there. Because you dog whistled a little to the right, but let's talk about all the cancel culture that's going on.
I'm not dog whistling any side. I'm saying it's happening on both sides.
Okay, good.
Right?
As long as you can acknowledge that, because
for sure.
Everybody's a hypocrite in the mainstream media and in the larger government,
the mainstream media,
the larger government.
I'm talking about our daily lives, man. Our daily lives. I'm not afraid of the government. I'm not afraid of the mainstream media. The reason that I'm looking towards a very dystopian near-term future for us is because of the average person. Because of the average person who believes something that is openly wrong, or they accept a norm of behavior that is openly anti-freedom, anti-American, because that is just what is culturally acceptable now.
I think Americans have been brainwashed into thinking that corporate should have more power. I actually thought that no. I think it should be government, and I'll tell you why I think that. Because government, I can vote in, vote out, and I can impeach. I cannot vote in or vote out a CEO or a shareholder, or I cannot impeach them. What I cannot even do is convince people not to buy a certain brand. They will still go for it when there's like, you know what I mean? Like there's need for it. Mm-hmm. And like Amazon, everyone knows that Amazon's employees are working like, slaves pretty much.
They wear diapers because they can't take a fucking bath.
There you go. Thank you. So that stopped Amazon sales. Like people got all of a sudden very, honorable and said, we're not going to buy from Amazon anymore. No. So you can't fight corporate world in any way. You can vote them out. You can vote them in. You cannot convince people not to buy from them. You can't do that. But what you can do is you can vote in a congressman. You can vote for your government in or out. Right? Like you can change these people. You can impeach a president because you have good guys that you voted for. Like there you have some power. But what power do you have in a corporate world?
ICE is not out here killing American citizens. American citizens are getting brainwashed by the left that, oh, these aren't even law enforcement officers. You guys can go and impede their investigation, get in their way, try to hit them with the car, try to wrestle when you know you have a gun. If I know I have a gun and I'm around a law enforcement officer, I'm acting on my best behavior, first of all. And my final point is, you guys keep saying, oh, well, they don't have training, they don't have training. You guys realize we have a lot of illegal immigrants here, thanks to Biden? So we would not need so many ICE officers to round them up in the next 4 years if Biden didn't let so many in the first place.
Let me ask you a question, bro. The way you was moving, when you had the satchel on you, you swung it to the back when we came around. Come here for a second. Sir, I'm stopping you, sir. Sir, I'm stopping you.
Am I being detained?
Yes.
For what?
I'm telling you. Come here.
For what?
Come here. I'll talk to you. Come here.
Why
Sir,
are you grabbing?
Just talk to me.
Why are you grabbing?
Because you're being stopped. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay.
For what?
You're being stopped. I'm going to talk to
for
you.
What?
Okay, listen, sir, I'm going to talk to you. Just
what?
calm down because I don't want to keep doing this. Just stop.
What am I being detained for?
All right, I'm going to tell you why.
Can you tell me right now?
Yes. Just stop right now. You keep trying to pull. All right? You going to stop? My man. When we came up, all right, as soon as you saw us, you looked back twice, correct? You also move your backpack in the your little satchel area in the back of you, okay? So what I was going to do is pat you down for a possible weapon, okay? So with that being said, we're going to take a stop report. All right, sir, come here. You can't move. Stay right here, okay?
What am I being detained for?
I already told you. We already went over that.
Suspicion of a weapon.
Yes. There you go. So you don't need to move no more. You're being stopped at this point. You asked me if you're being detained. You are detained. Yes. Okay. So this is what we're also going to do. We're going to take a stop report for numbers. Okay. You have an ID on you?
No.
You have no ID?
No.
Okay. You gonna give me your name, information?
No.
So we put a report for the report?
No.
So you don't want to give no information?
No.
Okay. We'll take it down at 4400. You're gonna be John Doe. Okay. Just to let you know, sir, we're gonna take a report saying why we stopped you. Okay. Do you understand the words that I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Copy this. You're free to go now, sir.
Thank you.
That's the America that a lot of people don't want to admit that we're living in right now. That's the reason why the American dream is RIP. Their budget is larger than ever. So if you think ICE is going to be disappearing anytime soon, think about it. Trump still is going to be in office for 3 more years. And if you guys vote Republican or Trump decides to run as a vice president, you're going to have Trump in office for another at least 7 years. These 3, and then if he runs as a vice president, because he legally can run as a vice president, I'll say this again. He can run legally as a vice president. There's nothing that says Trump can't. And the budget for ICE is going to grow. I said this when ICE first came out. ICE against immigrants is a trial run. ICE focusing on immigrants and incarcerating immigrants, this is only a trial run experiment. Do you think ICE is just going to fade to black once all the so-called immigrants are gone? They're just going to give their budget money up, huh? They're just going to fire all those people and just have them unemployed, huh? You think it's coincidence that he had ICE agents in Chicago? As if he had National Guard? Do you think that it was a coincidence that he had ICE agents in DC as if they were National Guard? Do you think? Guys, this is a trial run. This is just a thumbnail. They got plans for you, the American citizen. Why do you think they're arresting or harassing American citizens a little bit here, a little bit there, just to see how you guys react? Oh, they aren't saying anything. Okay, we arrest 5. Let's see what they say. Okay, they're not saying anything. Okay, let's arrest 10. Okay. They aren't saying. Let's push the envelope. Let's arrest 100 U.S. born citizens. Let's see what Americans will do. Okay, they ain't doing nothing. Okay, cool. Remember what I mentioned earlier is not ICE job. It's not the military's job to protect Americans. It is their job to protect America. America is protected on a federal level, not Americans. So as they arrest more and more and more Americans over the next few years, don't scratch your head as if you didn't know it was coming. I want to say this again. Do not pretend as if you did not know this was coming. Oh, by the way, when it comes to freedom of speech, since Americans think that America is the only country with freedom of speech, I'm here in Colombia. I'm on Colombian TikTok, Colombian Facebook. They complain about their government just like we do. And ain't none of them locked up. They complain about their president and put it all on social media. They talk about their mayors. They talk about their governors like trash, just like we do. Americans think that we're the only country where you can talk about the president and you won't get locked up. No, you're not. You are not the only country. You are not the only country. Colombians fuss and cuss in Spanish about everything with their government. Do not think that you are the only one, the only government, the only Americans, in other words, that got something to complain about their government. And you won't be locked up for saying it on social media. Here in Colombia, they do the same thing. And a lot of countries have the exact same freedoms. Now, in certain countries, you can't do that. But in Colombia, I just want to let you guys know. Zeta said in Japan, hell, talk trash about their government. The Japanese people, absolutely. He said, I saw protesting, but man, Bogota keep a bruh, if you have never been to Bogota, Colombia, they keep a protest. They keep a protest. You ain't never lied about that one, brother. T-Mac says the U.S., when it comes to freedom, ranks number 15 to 23 when it comes to the Global Freedom Index. So all you guys that's making a mistake of thinking that America is the land of that's been sold to us, that's propaganda. We are not number one when it comes to freedom and freedom of speech and freedom of expression. We are not. Get that out of your head. RIP to the American dream.
We've recently obtained and analyzed the largest trove of data, giving us an inside look at Trump's deportation machine. And we found—
Look at this. This, what you're looking at right now, is Americans arrested. Immigrants being arrested, detained, and shipped out. These are the graphics that we don't normally see. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw this.
found that while they have greatly expanded enforcement, they have still fallen far short of their goals. With this data, we can tell how many people have been arrested in each state, how many people ICE is detaining in each facility, and the criminal history of each of the people that ICE has arrested and deported. The biggest story the data tells is that the people being arrested and deported now are fundamentally different than before. The Trump administration has said that they are focused on arresting criminal illegal aliens. But the data shows the largest increase has been in people with no criminal record at all. And these ICE arrests are taking place in places like Home Depot parking lots, car washes, the hallways of immigration courtrooms, and on residential streets where there are plenty of bystanders around. While arrests are different under the Trump administration, deportations are very different as well. Under the Biden administration, ICE only deported about 50,000 people in the interior of the country, meaning not while actively crossing the border. In President Trump's first year, he's deported more than 200,000 people who are arrested in the interior of the country. This immigration enforcement campaign is something that we can expect to affect every state and city in the country, and there are far more deportations.
He said every state and city in the country. Once again, this is a trial run. The biggest mistake most Americans are making, if you think that they are only going to be going after immigrants in the future, you are out of your mind. You are literally out of. If you knew how much money that's made, not off of ICE, off of detention centers and prisons. If you knew the billions that's being made right now, you think, okay, you got a company. You're making billions a year. Billions. What would motivate you to legally close your business down? You ain't doing anything illegally. You're doing it by the books. What would motivate you to close your business down? Nothing. Nothing would motivate you to close a multi-billion-dollar business down. Then what makes you think when Trump and the rest of his cronies get done with this so-called immigrants that they're just going to have all these detention centers empty and they're just going to shut down a multi-billion-dollar industry of locking people up? When I let you guys know this is the trial run, the 200,000 that's been locked up in 2025, bruh, this is just the trial run. Some of y'all ain't gonna be satisfied till y'all see somebody's grandmama locked up by ICE, somebody's auntie, somebody's great uncle locked. Y'all ain't gonna be satisfied until somebody's older uncle in his 70s is locked up by ICE. This is not a game. They are not playing. Some of y'all ain't gonna be satisfied till y'all see an American kid born and raised in the USA locked up by ICE. This is a ICE is doing nothing. While y'all, get them immigrants out of, get them out of here. Y'all didn't holler all that when Obama was doing it. Obama is the #1 president of exporting immigrants in the history of the United States. No president, including Trump, has exported more people than Obama. Y'all wasn't yelling all that when Obama was doing it, and he was kicking them out. I mean, he was kicking them out. I didn't hear one word from black people, white people, Latin, none of y'all open up y'all mouths when Obama was using ICE to kick people out. That's who he was using. So why y'all crying about ICE now? Why now? Because y'all see the potential of what ICE can do when they are done with immigrants. See, when Obama did it, y'all wasn't really worried about him coming after American citizens when he got done. With Trump and his cronies and the corporations and the billions to be made, shh. If the law allowed me to keep my multi-billion-dollar business going, I'm not about to volunteer to shut my business down. I'm going to find another way to keep my multi-billion-dollar business going. So y'all can sit back and pretend like it's still my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, and the American dream still exists. That's RIP, bruh. Y'all might as well get y'all obituaries ready. America is, the country is not going anywhere. But as far as the American dream, stop lying to yourself. Get your obituary ready. That dream is over, bruh. Every time you hear somebody talk about the American dream, you should start laughing. Well, I own this, I own that, I own this, I got that, and I got 3 Mercedes Benzes. Dude, and you live in one of the most stressed out. This is the funny part about how America is so stressed out now. You could bust your butt and have all the degrees on 5 pieces of real estate, 200,000 in crypto, Maserati, Rolls Royce, Ferrari in the garage. You don't mess with nothing but supermodel baddies in the United States today. And all you got to do is just drive down the street and one person get road rage and put a hot ball right in your skull. That's how stressed out America is. You can bust your butt and get everything. Nobody cares about the rich anymore. Nobody fear, oh my God, he's rich. Nobody cares about that. Dude, let one person, let a grandmama get road rage on her way to the grocery store. In America, grandma ain't got no problem with reaching her purse, pull out that thing, click, clack, and you and your Maserati or your Lamborghini, she'll put them hot things in them. That's America today. Everybody's strapped. Everybody's stressed and everybody's strapped. And I didn't want to raise a family in a country where everybody is stressed and everybody is strapped. Go on, test grandmama y'all want to, pulling in front of her. Soon as that light turn red, grandma gonna step out that car, click, clack, blah, blah, blah. She ain't got no problem. That's the United States. The American dream of thinking that you are safe enough to bring your dreams to pass is done. Remember, there used to be a separation between the rich and the average and the poor. Not anymore. It's just rich folk, poor folk. I mean, rich and average folk. And most average folks are broke folk. And the rich got to have extra security. You know why? Because they know average folks or poor folks got them things. See, it was a difference back in the day when the rich had them things and the average or poor person didn't have them things. Now everybody got one of them things, don't they, in the United States? Everybody, especially after COVID, everybody got strapped. Do you think after COVID, grandma gave up her strap? You think your auntie ain't packing no more because COVID is gone? Man, everybody got strapped during COVID, those first couple years, and then a couple years after that. Everybody got them things now. So it ain't the rich that got security. Nobody care about the rich no more. They ain't scared of the rich and they security guards no more. Yeah, my security guard straps. And how many MCs, rappers, DJs, entertainers, famous people with so-called security and homeboys are dead today? You ever notice that the numbers are going faster and faster when it comes to entertainers getting a hot ball, when it comes to singers or rappers getting that hot ball in their chest? You know why? Because everybody's strapped. You and your gun collection is nothing special no more. Do not think that I got my guns. Guess what? The lady next door got a gun. Her sons got a gun. You ain't nobody special. Everybody is stressed because of the economics in the economy, and everybody is strapped. And when you got a country of stressed and strapped people, you who got money ain't nobody special no more. You ain't nobody special. Don't ever think that because you making $400,000 a year, you can't get got. Don't ever think because you making $200,000 a year, you can't get got. We all can get got in the United States. All of us. Ain't one of us that can't get got, except maybe the president and vice president. And I said maybe. All of us are expendable. Every one of us. That American dream is RIP. Stop thinking if I get the wife and the kids and the picket fence, I'm safe and there's no problems and I can live to be 70, 80, 90 years old and I can see my grandkids. Them days are done, bruh. They're done. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the video.
Deportations now to almost every country around the world, including many that were hard to deport people to before. People are being deported to repressive regimes like Russia, Iran, and Afghanistan, and many people are also being deported to countries that they have no ties to at all.
I started primarily living in countries that weren't very Western, and I really started to see my American brainwashing in an entirely new light. I started to see how the stories that I was told about the world and the way other countries were and the way America was were all complete lies. And when I would come home, I would try to talk to people about it, and people would get legitimately angry at me. People that you would think were very educated, open-minded, even liberal people would get so mad that I was saying that I really didn't think America was a great country anymore. I have to say, being on TikTok and seeing how many other people share my views about America and the problems that are America and the scam that is America really does actually make me kind of feel like understood. But the truth is, I had to live out of the country to really get it. And I felt like I was someone who knew that already. I was liberal, I was educated, I knew the problems going on in the US. But when you live somewhere else and you actually experience what it is to not deal with that stuff, it changes everything.
She's not lying. The part that probably hurt me the most, and yes, it was, so some of you guys have said, it don't hurt me, Dre, but I ain't gonna lie. It kind of disappointed me, not hurt to the chest, but it kind of disappointed me, man, when I moved out inside of America. And I realized how much America had lied to me. Lied to me about other countries, other governments. Lied to me about other food, other economics. They lied to me, bro. America lied to me and told me that only corporations can make money outside the United States. That ain't true. A lot of us are making money and don't live in the United States, making USD, but they made it seem like only corporations can do that. They lied, bruh. I felt so disappointed. Every country I went to, I was waiting for what the American media told me about that country to be true. I'm gonna say this. Out of all the countries I've been to, the only country that it was 100% true what the government said was Cuba. The impoverishment level is on a whole another level. Everything that you heard about Cuba is true. The electricity goes out for days upon days. They got to wait for the food to be shipped in. They only make $30 a month. Dude, I'm talking about the average Cubano is only making $30 a month because the government is supposed to be supplying everything. I can say Cuba but I can say this: they are the nicest people that you ever want to meet. I have met a lot of people around the world, but some of the nicest people are Cubans, hands down. They are the nicest people, even though they don't have anything because of what's going on with their government. So when it comes to Cuba, yes, I haven't been to North Korea, but every other country, America lied their ass off. America lied about France. America lied about Germany. America lied about Spain. America lied to me about UK. America lied about Colombia. America lied about Brazil. America lied their ass off about Mexico. Every time I went to a Caribbean island, America lied about that island. America lied to me, dude. Every time I went somewhere, I was so disappointed. Not that what America said was true. I was happy that it wasn't true. I was disappointed because my country literally programmed me with lies about these countries. And I'm not talking about a small little white lie. I'm talking about gigantor lies. Lied 100%. I don't care if they lied about the economics or the government. I don't care if they lied about housing or the people. I don't care if they lied about the culture or the food. They just kept lying and lying. And I kept believing it like the rest of y'all. And I find out that 90%, I can easily say this, 90% of what America told me about the most countries that I've at least been to, none of that shit was true. That's what hurt my feelings. That America thought that if they told us the truth about the beauty and the foods and the opportunities in other countries, that we'll just go run into the other countries and we wouldn't hold allegiance to America. Americans aren't stupid. We love our country. Just like other people who don't have what we have, like Cuba, like Cubans still love their country. Colombians love their country. Venezuelans love their country. Even though it's not a good thing going on right now for many of them, they still love their country. So do we. If you would have told us the truth about Jamaica, the truth about Haiti, the truth about the 54 countries of Africa, the truth about the 12 countries in South America, the truth about Europe, the truth about we was not going to leave. But the part that hurt me was they didn't even trust us with the motherfucking truth. That's what hurt me about my country. That's what hurt me about my country. They didn't even trust us with the truth about any name one country America told you the truth about, except for countries that are kind of like socialists or countries that are falling apart. But for the most part, dude, I've been doing my research on Venezuela. Dude, they have some of the most amazing, most beautiful resorts, all inclusive, that you have ever seen. Now, I can, and my wife can go enjoy Venezuela. Many of you guys can go enjoy Venezuela, but we know that Pookie's and Ray Ray's going to end up deleted in Venezuela if they go, because they don't even know how to act right in Colombia or Brazil. So you know them Venezuelan boys going to take their kidneys and everything else, waiting for Pookie and Ray Ray to get off that plane. But I ain't gonna lie, man. That's probably the number, ain't no probably. That is the number one shock for me living outside the United States. That's my number one, not food prices, not quality of women, all that. Yeah, that's okay, cool. The number one shock for me was two-part. the lies that my country told me about other countries and the fact that my country did not trust me with the truth, as if I knew the truth, I was going to leave. As if all 400 million of us, if they told us the truth about other countries, we would leave. But then it's the funny part. Other countries know the truth about our country, and yet they don't leave. Italians know all the because of our media being so strong and prevalent. They know all about our music, all about our culture, all about our food, all about our country. Is Italy empty? No. Is it? All the Italians didn't run to America because they found out America is this and that, did they? Okay, what about Spain? Is Spain empty? They know everything about our country. Did they all up and leave Spain? In the Spanish passport, you can go to America without a visa. Did the Spaniards leave Spain once they found out all of the delights of America? They didn't. They don't need a visa. They can walk right in with a passport. Why didn't they leave? Because even after hearing the truth about our country, the good things, they still decided to live in their own country. America didn't trust us with the truth, but it's amazing how all these other countries are being told about our country, the truth, and yet they still decide to live in their own country. We fail to realize there are countries that like their own flag. Let's continue on with the video.
What words of encouragement do you have for America's youth?
Leave.
Oh, please.
Leave. America is one big homeowners association. You can't even go to Canada because that's about to be America too. So you got to find somewhere else to go for a little while and give it a generation.
Thanks for those words.
I don't say that to be pessimistic. I say it to hopefully activate people into seeing what's going on.
You know why I left America? Because I moved from America a year ago and nobody even knows that I'm gone.
Dang.
Everybody still thinks I'm in America. That's why I left. People be like, they're like, why you didn't tell nobody you left? Y'all didn't even know I was there. I've been gone for a year. I love America though. I just wanted to try something new.
I am planning on leaving the country for lots of reasons. I want my kids to grow up in a country that is other than the United States so that they can learn to value foreign culture, but also learn to really fucking value American culture. The United States is a unique and special place that Americans, by and large, don't fucking understand because they've never left the United States. They don't have any concept. There is almost no place in the United States where you can go, drink water out of the faucet, and then be poisoned by the water you drink. You can go to Beijing, China, and if you do the same thing, you're fucked. You're going to have water poisoning for 2 days. You don't learn how to appreciate the clean water utility of the United States until you get outside the United States. You don't learn to appreciate the traffic patterns. You don't understand these things until you get out of the country. So
He's never lied. I have even though I'll never live in the United States again, that ain't going to happen. I have more of appreciation, love for the United States than ever before. I never felt American in the States. Not one day. I've never had one day in my 50 years of living in the United States I felt like an American. Maybe 9/11, after that, those 2 weeks after 9/11, I'll give it that. Other than that, if you think that living in America, you feel like an American, bring your tail out here to these countries. You will feel more American than you've ever felt in your life. People will see you not as black, as American. They'll talk to you like you're American. They'll treat you like you're American. I never got talked to like I was American in America. I never got treated like I was American in America. Nobody talked to me as if I was American in America. I got talked to in America like I was a black man. That's what people in America focused on. My skin tone and my gender. I'm a man and he's black. And people talk to me like that. But I promise you, the moment you leave the United States, you are still a black man. Yes. You are still a man. Yes. But on top of that, before they even acknowledge, and put a comment in the comment section if I'm lying. Just say, Dre, you lying. Before they look at you as a black man, before they notice you as a man, they notice that you are American. That's on top of, dude, I've never been noticed as an American in my home country. Every country I go to, every store, shop, people automatically, that's an American. Nobody say, hey, that's a black man. Nobody's done that. First thing was always, oh yeah, he's an American. Oh, he's American. You got to understand he's an American. Tell him you're American. I've never been more proud to be American since I left America. I've never been more proud. You think 4th of July and the flags on your house and that ain't American pride. Bring your ass out here and let people talk to you like you're American. You will appreciate America more than anything. When I went to see the Michael Jackson movie, I promise you, I did not look at the movie like Americans back in the state looks like the movie. Because you look at it as that's Michael Jackson, where he's dancing, he's doing music. When you are not in the United States and you're looking at the Michael Jackson movie, you realizing people are enjoying America's culture. Michael Jackson is a part of America's, not Europe's, not Asia's. He came from us. And you appreciate that people are dancing and celebrating around the world as they're watching the movie because of one of us, not the black us. Because if you was in the States, you'd be celebrating the Michael Jackson movie because a black man. No, when you leave the United States, you are proud to see people celebrating America, a part of us, a part of our culture, a part of Gary, Indiana. And if you've never left the United States, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about for the last 4 minutes. You don't understand nothing of what I just said because you've never left the United States. He said, I felt more valued as a black man outside of the United States than inside the United States. Absolutely preach. Zeta says, no lies. No lies. He said, yeah, it's ironic. And it is. It really is, right? It's ironic that you can feel more American being outside the United States than being in America, but it does feel different, like more than I see. I see me as an American. I kid you not. I'm more, dude, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I probably, and let me know if you guys are like this that are outside the United States. I probably focus more on enjoying my American side than I do my black side. I celebrate being American just as much, if not more, than being a black man. And I'll tell you why. I'm not saying it in a negative sense. I have celebrated being a black man my whole life, right? I've celebrated my blackness in one way or another, right? All of us have, right? I have never really had a chance as a black man to celebrate my America or American side. I've never celebrated it. Oh, I know I'm American, 4th of July, blah, blah, blah. But I've never celebrated it with my chest out. And I'm not talking about with an ego like, yes, I'm American. No. I'm talking about with appreciation for my homeland, like other people appreciate their homelands. When I left America, It's the first time in my life I could decide, do I want to celebrate my blackness or do I want to celebrate my Americanness today? I can kind of put my blackness on the shelf and let people say, hey, there's American. He's an American. Hey, Andre, he's an American. When I went to church today, I dressed like an American black man in church. In the church that we go to, over 4,000 people. Polo shirts, button-down white shirts, right? I walk in there clean. You know why? Because as an American, going to the churches that I'm used to, black men and women always dress their best for God. We didn't have the best that we could have during slavery. So when we got a chance to have nice clothing, we had our Sunday clothes. You got your after school clothes, you got your work clothes, and you got your Sunday clothes. So black people always dressed fly when we went to church. And for a couple of months, I kind of like, okay, just do the polo shirt thing. And I'm like, no. I'm an American. And I'm going to go to church like an American. And we give God our best outfit, best tie, best button down, best blazer, best shoes, best socks, best everything. Because that's how we feel like when we go to church on Sunday. Sunday's best. And when I walk in my church, they don't say there's a black guy. No, they say that is an American. Because we ain't on that level right there of dressing. I dress like Americans. I celebrate who we are. I don't celebrate my blackness all the time. Americans so busy celebrating our blackness because that's how we've been programmed to celebrate, right? White dudes celebrate their whiteness, Asians celebrate their Asianness in the United States, but they do not show us, no matter what race, how to celebrate being American. And then when you leave, bruh, you want to be so proud to be an American. Like I said, I sat up there and watched the Michael Jackson movie, and I'm looking at people, the theater is being filled. And I could feel like it wasn't just about Michael Jackson, but in my heart, it was like these people are embracing Gary, Indiana in America. These theaters are being filled because of our culture. We created the moonwalk. We created some of those steps that Michael do, and you see him in the black church. You say, yeah, I saw, people dance like that in church. We do that. And so I celebrate my Americanness, man. I don't be running around just celebrate my blackness. Y'all do that in the States. Have fun with it. I celebrate being America. I celebrated my blackness for 50 years. Yes, I'm black, but I don't have anybody all day long telling me I'm black, I'm black, I'm black, you black, hey, you black, you know you're black, black, black. You don't have that. All day long, I get you American. You're American. You know you're American. Don't forget you're American. You're American. And I love it. I love it. I won't even lie to you, bro. I won't even lie to you. T-Mac says this before we go back to the video. He said, I think Colombian women get extra jealous of their black American boyfriends because they believe their friends and family will have their friend and family will try to move in if given the opportunities. I wouldn't know. My wife family ain't like that, but I feel where you're coming from. T-Mac said, Corporal says this. Corporal says, he says, yes, sir, Dre, telling the facts. He said, we had after school after school clothing, Sunday clothing, overall outside working clothing. You're absolutely correct. Montrez in the building. Shout out to Montrez. He said, here in America, church folks are some of the meanest people in the restaurant after church service. That's true. But as far as being clean, we the cleanest. Yes, sir. Let's go back to the video, gentlemen. Y'all not here to hear me. Tonight's topic is the CIA agent said, I'm getting my family out of here. And we're going to listen to him explain why he's getting his family outside of the United States.
Children have been raised not just in the United States, but they've been raised in a household running a successful business, and where the people they hang out with on my trips are decamillionaires. They don't understand not everybody has a giant pool in their backyard. They don't understand that Beverly Hills, LA is not just a normal place. They don't understand that. So I need them to understand that. So we're going to take them out of here and show them real poverty, real challenge, real work, a foreign language. I didn't work to become a millionaire to stay in the United States. I did it so that I could take my wealth and see the world while I'm still young enough to enjoy it.
This is something we got to talk about. United States citizens are leaving the U.S. and going to other countries. Whether it's Ghana, whether it's Thailand, whether it's Tokyo, you're starting to see it more and more. This is not a drill. This is happening. And for whatever reason, people are pretty much giving up on the American dream for whatever reason. And what I've personally seen from the videos is everybody's happy. And at the end of the day, that's what you want to be. You want to be happy. You don't want to be somewhere where you're miserable, you're struggling, and it's just killing your vibe. But we really I think this is something we got to start talking about. People will come to America because America was what they would say the American dream. And I think the American dream is now turned into the American nightmare. And when you look at these other countries, if you're cultured enough, you'll see that, man, the places are beautiful. They have the same thing, if not more. The prices split in half, probably less than split in half. And you get a lot more. But it's just weird. We have these politicians in place right now who are just really turning this shit into a third world country. Like when you have U.S. citizens that decide to say, you know what, fuck this place, I'm out. And just uproot their entire life and go to another country that they have no clue about, and they're taking the biggest risk. But when you look at them a year, 2 years later, they're extremely happy. You got a serious problem here on the U.S. soil. That's a real problem. Just something to think about. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody. Chris with the Gems.
So one thing I noticed since moving abroad is, baby, I'm outside. I'm outside. I'm always outside. You know why? Because I finally feel peace. I can feel it in my body. My whole nervous system feels different. My nervous system is saying, Lonnie, finally, we're not fighting for our life. We're not dodging and ducking bullets. We outside around friendly people. We're not in the midst of chaos. We don't have to see and hear people fighting all day and arguing all day. We peace. So I'm outside. I'm outside. I'm outside. And I don't have to feel guilty about being outside.
And it looks like she's in she's in Thailand.
Finally in my life, I don't have to fight and be in chaos. Whew.
What other freedom, we spoke about like the freedom to express an opinion, right? Is the reason for you want to take your children out of the United States. What are some of the other things that need to change? Some of the other freedoms, whether they're cultural or political, that you think your family can enjoy better elsewhere? What are some of the other things?
So I want to clarify again, it's not that I'm afraid of the government encroaching on the rights of my children or myself or my family. It's because of the culture. The average everyday person is starting to accept the normalization of these extreme political beliefs, which leaves people either very vocal or very quiet.
Isolated.
Yeah. And I don't want my children to think that that is what America is. I want my children to understand America is far more special than even the average American understands. But the only way to give them that perspective is to get them out of here. Anybody who's traveled outside the United States, you being one of them, you have seen how the world works. And you have seen what it is about the United States that makes us so special. Turn on your sink and you can drink the water that comes out of your sink. You can't do that in most of the world. You can go to a restaurant and expect the food to be clean. You can't expect that in most of the world, right? Only in your first world Western ideological countries do they even have the
the systems in place to make sure that food and water are clean or available to people, right? The United States is an extremely special place. That's why I served in uniform. That's why I served at CIA. It's why we did what we did in our book Shadow Cell. It's because we believe in the United States. But what the United States is choosing to do to itself right now is not what so many veterans, is not what so many of us fought for 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 25 years ago. It's not what the boomers fought for either. The United States is going through its adolescence. We are forgetting how young we are as a country compared to everybody else, right? There were kingdoms in France. There was an empire in Turkey long before there was a constitution of the United States, right? So we have to evolve. Our Civil War was so recent that it's laughable to all the other countries who have had civil wars.
Yeah.
Right?
My grandpa met people that fought in the Civil War. How crazy is that?
And that's how recent this stuff was,
Yeah.
right? So the United States is going through its adolescence to decide what we really want to be. Don't forget, the United States is a giant experiment. This whole idea of representative democracy is a giant experiment. So while the United States figures that out, I have to take the very real responsibility of being a father first. I'm not a patriot first. I'm not a businessman first. I'm not even a husband first. Anybody who's a parent knows that this is the reality. When your kids are under the age of 18, you don't get to be any of those things first. You have to be a father first. I have an 11-year-old son right now.
Right.
In 8 years, he'll be 19, right? I have a 6-year-old daughter right now. In 8 years, she's going to be 14. I want them to have the best possible opportunities. Unfortunately, I don't think that can happen in the United States. The United States that dictates what their level of education has to be. The U.S. dictates when they have to register for selective service. The U.S. dictates, it's like there's tons of rules that they fall under that come before opportunity. That's not what we used to be. I don't feel like I have to be here while the rest of the country goes through middle school.
That's a great way of putting it. I don't feel like I have to be here. My children need to be there while the United States is trying to work out what it wants to be. What type of country we want to be. We think that we've already defined what the United States is in less than 450 years. Like he just said, there are countries that are 2,000-3,000 years old. Just imagine some of the countries we go to that are 2,000-3,000 years old. You can go to Italy, and it's been around forever and a day. Ukraine and Iraq, bruh, we talking about Babylonian Empire with a new name. No, I'm not saying that they're the future Babylon. I mean, their name was first Babylon. And then the lands were split up. Dude, it is crazy. When you sit back, you say, this is Turkey, but it was Persia at one point in time. That's how old these countries are. And here we come with our 450 years, and we think we doing something. We think we've already defined who we gonna be. When that man said that America is in its adolescence, and I am not going to have my family around waiting for America to decide on what it's going to be, I feel the exact same way. I'm not going to be sick. Dude, I only got with good health, think about it. 30 years, 40 years left. I'm 58. Be 59 later on this year. I'm 60 next October. I don't have time to wait for America to decide on what the hell it want to be. Are we going to focus on America, or are we going to keep invading other countries that ain't got nothing to do with us? Are we going to be still doing these race wars and all this? Is everybody and their grandmama going to be strapped? What are we doing with America? How do we define who we are? Are we going to still be following cult leaders to be our president? What are we doing? I don't have time to wait for America to decide on what it wants to be. Y'all work that out. Maybe I'll be dead and gone by the time America gets to its 1,000th year celebration like some of these other countries. And maybe by 1,000 years, America has really defined who she is. But as for now, America is too young for us to sit back and act like this is what America's going to be for the next 600 years. No, it ain't. America is brand new to the party. Dude, we just passed our invitation to walk into the party of global economics in the 1900s. Realize we did not become a superpower. It's only been 100 years. In the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, after World War I, World War II era. We walk around like we've been a superpower for like 3,000 years. No, bro, this is not Egypt. This is the United States of America. And I'm not about to sit up here and wait for y'all to decide on, is America going to be LGBTQ or trans or straight, or what's going to be on the job application, trans, straight, black, white. I ain't got no time for all that, man. I only got 30, 40 more years left with good health. I'm not going to play with it. I'm not going to play with the future of my kids. I'm not going to keep on playing with your prices. That's another thing. The same apple, a motherfucking apple in America, 75 cents, $1.50, $2.19. That same freaking apple in most of the world, same apple, 13 cents, 21 cents, 12 cents. I'm tired of playing them games, them economic games with stuff that go to other countries. I'm tired of playing games with healthy products. I go and grab a Pepsi in Detroit. 19 motherfucking ingredients on the Pepsi. Pepsi. I done took my ass to France. Grabbed the same Pepsi. 7 ingredients. I'm tired of playing these ingredients games. I'm tired of when you get Frosted Flakes in the United States, it's got 45 ingredients. The same corporation of Kellogg's in Battle Creek, Michigan. I've been there. You can smell. So you driving up to the small town, you can smell nothing but cereals being made. It's in the air. You can smell all your favorite cereals. You can smell it. That's how much the corporations Kellogg's is making when it comes to your favorite cereals out there in Battle Creek, Michigan. The Frosted Flakes, 62 motherfucking ingredients. In that same Frosted Flakes in Colombia got 16 dang ingredients. I'm tired of them games. So y'all can sit up there and have fun playing them games. You and your kids can pretend like it don't matter. It ain't no different. Have fun with it. And I mean it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Have fun with it. As for me, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of when I'm in the United States, electricity. Somebody said something the other day, and I forgot how expensive it was in the United States. Somebody said my water bill was $350. I was like, $350? $350 for a water bill? All I could think of, as I mentioned earlier, my first rent. All utilities included, in a beautiful area of Cali. My uncle is right around, his Airbnb right now is right in that area right now. Airbnb, right around the corner from my apartment. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, including all utilities, all cable, all Wi-Fi, including security, only 3 floors. Only 3 apartments per floor. $325 a month. You telling me that a water bill in the United States and I could get a whole apartment in another country less than a water bill? Including utilities and security and Wi-Fi and cable. Bruh, when y'all get done playing these games, talk to me. But as long as you got to sit up here and play these games on who America gonna be, y'all have fun with that. I'm not about to sit around and wait on that. And y'all can talk about us who have left the United States all you want. Y'all caused the problem. Y'all with this and that. I don't give a damn what y'all talk about. I do not care. Why America is trying to feel like am I gonna use a pacifier or am I gonna suck my thumb as a country? While America's trying to decide if it got a big butt or if it got a BBL, y'all decide that. I'm not about to sit around and be waiting years and years and years for stuff that are, this is the part of Americans, for stuff that already exists that are healthier and safer already on the planet. It's not like we're sitting back, dude, check it. It's not like you got to hunt for a healthy pizza in another country. It's not like you know what? Man, I want to go Kentucky Fried Chicken, man. I'm in Kenya, man. I want to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, man. But you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken ain't healthy for you. And then you go to KFC in Kenya, and it's real chicken. And it's dudes that come to Colombia and eat chicken as if they ain't never ate chicken a day in their life. Colombia's KFC is called Frisbee chicken. Now, as you guys know, I haven't eaten chicken in almost 40 years. Dude, it's dudes that come down here and eat Frisbee chicken and like, dude, I don't need to eat nothing. I ain't never tasted chicken like this. Dude, Domino's pizza. I order a vegetarian Domino's pizza. Dude, you know Domino's is the cheapest. It tastes inexpensive. Remember when Kmart's was open? Kmart's was selling Domino pizzas in the back. That's how cheap and inexpensive Domino's pizza was. Everything was cheaply made. With nothing of quality of Domino pizza ain't never been known for that. You come to Colombia, order you a Domino or a Little Caesars. That crust tastes like somebody's grandmama was in the back with a rolling pin making it from scratch from an Italian recipe. Those tomatoes are sliced so from fresh tomatoes, tastes like they didn't just came. We're talking about regular Dominoes in Little Caesars. We ain't talking about no major franchise. We're talking about regular, everyday, cheap ass Dominoes is healthier in Colombia than your best pizza spot in Chicago with the Chicago style thick pizza or the New York style or the Detroit thick crust style pizzas. The chicken and the pizza taste so healthy in other countries, you think you can live off of chicken and pizzas. Dude, I'm tired of playing them games with the healthy food thing, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Medical. That same medication that they want to charge you $112 per pill in the States literally costs 13 cents in another country. I'm tired of playing them games. I'm tired of playing these games acting like, oh, well, it must be like that around the world. No, it is not like that around the world. I got tired of playing them games. Playing me like I'm stupid. That same medication, that same insulin shot that you guys might take, the same a defibrillator, the same, that you might buy for and keep it in the house, the same insulin, like I say, insulin shots, the same weight loss or whatever it is, the same dental appointments, the same. Brother just told me the other day, he just came and shout to my brother JC. He said, I came to Colombia to one of the best dentists in the country. This the dentist that did Rick Ross, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Kanye West, and Chippy Choppy Mall and Pacific Coast Mall, and here in Cali, and Cardi B teeth. In the States, he told me that this was a couple of days ago. We sitting down having some beers. He said, Dre, I got an estimate. He said, I've been going to my same dentist office for over 20 years in the States. 20 years. You would think I would get a deal. If anybody can get a deal, I've spent money on my teeth in the States. You would think I could get a deal on some veneers, Dre. I could get it after 20 plus years. Brother told me, he said, they gonna charge me $22,000 to get veneers in the States after going to that dentist office for over 20 years. He said, I reached out to that Cali Colombian dentist who's so famous, $4,500. He said that included the ride from the airport and back. Any place I wanted to go to, the driver was taking me to. He said that they forgot about me the other day. He reached out to me. He said, Dre, my driver forgot about me. Could you come pick me up from the airport? I said, I ain't doing nothing. I'm on my way. Picked him up from the airport. They gave him a major discount in his dentistry. He said, I'm thinking I'm about to pay this almost $5,000 to get a $22,000 dentistry done. He said, Dre, just because the driver forgot to pick me up on the second trip back, they dropped that price so low, Dre, and apologized. He said, and I was like, it's cool. My boy Dre down here, so I'm good. Brothers, I'm tired of playing them damn games with dentistry. I'm tired of you trying to tell me that I got to pay $22,000 for something in other countries. It's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. It's only $6,000 for me to get veneers. It's only a certain amount of $2,200, $1,200, $900 for me to get braces, $2,000 for me to get braces. Why are you trying to charge me $7,000 in the States, $10,000, $12,000 in the States for the same damn wires? I got tired of them games, bruh. I got tired of them games. Don't be telling me that if I get this surgery in the States where it's going to be, $45,000. And then when I get literally, this is not fictitious, literally get the same surgery in Colombia, it's covered under my monthly insurance that we pay $100 a month for all the bells and whistles insurance, only $100 a month. Here's the kicker. And if we had more kids, we had a bunch of kids, guess what our insurance coverage is? $100 a month. We got the sewer, and anybody that knows sewer is like the top of the line insurance, and we got the best of the best that they could cover. And so when I got my 2 surgeries here, but in the States, We want 45,000. I'm tired of playing them games. Don't play me like I'm stupid no more. Stop playing me like I'm stupid. Stop acting like we got the best medical when we don't. Thailand will blow America out the water when it comes to medical. Let's not play these games no more. That's why a lot of us left, because we got tired of them dang games with the food, with the health, with everything, dude. You just get tired. Look at me. My mother used to sit back and say this. So you gonna tell me a barefaced lie? Huh? Huh mean you can hear. So you gonna look me right in my face and lie to me like that. That's how I feel about my home country, America. So you gonna look me in my face and tell me veneers cost $22,000? You gonna look me in my face and tell me the exact veneers that cost $4,500 in other countries? You gonna look me in my face and tell me $22,000? You gonna look me in my face and tell me that the frosted flakes that I get or the corn flakes that I get must have 52 motherfucking ingredients to be corn flakes, but the same company, this is the part that got me pissed, the same company will ship corn flakes to Colombia with 9 ingredients. So you gonna look me in my face and tell me you can make the same corn flakes or frosted flakes with 9 or 12 ingredients for foreign countries, but I gotta buy it in America with 59, 92 ingredients to have frosted flakes to give to my kids. I got tired of them games. You telling me that this Coca-Cola, if I drink one, I'm gonna blow up. But the Coca-Cola y'all send down to Mexico, they don't blow up. Them damn Mexican brothers and sisters, they drink Coca-Cola more than they drink water. And ain't none of them walking around with diabetes like us. I'm tired of them games. I got tired of them playing them petty games with us as if we're stupid, looking us directly in our face, telling us bare-faced lies in the name of patriotism. Patriotism. I got tired of them lies, man. Vegetables, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. You just got tired of people lying and lying to you about the safety for your children. Let's go back to the video, gentlemen. Let me hit these super chats real quick. Shout out to you guys being here. First of all, shout out to my Canadian brother being in the building.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, "Oh, Canada."
And shout out to a man supporting me. He says this. He said, Andre, he said, I met a nurse from Belgium. Shout out to Belgium at the health clinic in Kennesaw. Let me see if I can get this right. Kennesaw, Georgia. Even she told me the food and healthcare is better in Europe, way better. It can't even compare. I wish I could lie, but we've heard enough lies. We've heard enough lies. You're absolutely correct, brother. Way better. Let's continue on.
I do not want my children. And I also told my children that I do not want them. Why y'all keep thinking I'm playing? When I say I don't want my kids, that's exactly what I'm saying. And if you don't want your children, listen. You don't want your kids growing up thinking that the United States is the center of the universe. Honey, you have to take action. Get them a passport. Take them to cultural events. Take them around people that don't look like them. And also let them go to different places in other countries if you can. You can't at least watch Netflix or something and get the kids' minds going to other than the U.S. Don't let your kids turn 18 years old thinking that the United States is the only place in the world.
In the world, what country has the most missing children? Like the nation of origin or? No, in the country, how many?
America.
You think America has the most?
I don't know. I have no clue.
But if you had to guess. What would you guess?
Mexico.
I would have thought Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico.
Mexico, India. So
Philippines.
United Kingdom, 69,000 kids a year.
Is it per capita?
Are missing, gone. 69,000 in that country. That's crazy.
What he's about to mention is per year. So he hit UK 69,000 per year. Next on the list.
India, huge population. 96 to 100,000 kids are gone. F***ing gone. They don't know where they go. That's what the United States is. 330,000 kids.
Are we including,
in our country? No,
we're including the migrants, right?
See, here we go. We got excuses for everything. We're including the migrants, right? When we bring kids in, and then those kids come up missing. Let's bring that back. Let's use excuses. The migrants, that's who's missing. See, when he said that about UK, does UK not have immigrants and immigrant issues? Oh, they do? So how come he didn't use the migrant issue for UK? India, billions of people, right? Why can't you use the migrant issue for UK or any other excuse? United States. We're talking about per year. Per year. 300,000, 330,000. And what did he run to? The same thing that we Americans always run to. Our pocket full of excuses. And here's the kicker. Here's the truth. Let me share something with you guys. That a lot of people don't know. Let's go here. Now let me do a screen share with you guys. A lot of people don't know this about the United States. The actual number of kids that come up missing in the United States. Let me move myself out the way and let me blow this up. Let you guys see. Over 460 to over 800,000 kids are reported missing in the United States. How often? Annually, according to the FBI. With children reported missing every 40 to 68 seconds. While alarming 90 to 93% of the cases are runaway scenarios or so-called misunderstandings, typically resolved or taken care of within hours rather than stranger abductions. Now, I did know that stranger abductions in the United States are only 1%, but that's quite a bit. But when it comes missing, children missing, 800,000 a year. 800,000 kids come up missing in the United States every single year. It's not 330,000. We are number one when it comes to snatching up our kids or our kids running away, never to be seen again. Is it that bad in the United States that our kids are running away at an 800,000 clip every year?
Uh, 69,000 in that country. That's crazy. India, huge population. 96 to 100,000 kids are gone. F***ing gone. They don't know where they go. Guess what the United States is? 330,000 kids.
Are we including
in our country? No.
No, we're including the migrants,
Reports
right?
of missing children in the United States. It doesn't matter, migrant, 330,000. So you wonder why I'm like all over my kids. Like, so you can't go spend the night there. You got to stay with dad. Like, remember when we were kids, driving on our bike? Can't believe we didn't get kidnapped. There's 6 of us.
There was that,
it's just
there was that
crazy.
crazy homeless guy in Tom's River, though.
1% of the American population. Like that.
That's what it says.
One of the top reasons why I got my family out of the United States was for our safety. I don't think I could have ever foreseen the events that are taking place in the United States right now, but what I did know 2 years ago is that I wanted to send my daughter to school safely with the peace of knowing that I would be able to pick her up at the end of the day. I knew that we could have access to affordable and top-of-the-line quality care abroad, and I didn't have to struggle to find a way to pay for our medical expenses. I knew that I wouldn't have to worry about being stopped on the street or invaded by police in the comfort of my own home just because of the color of my skin. I knew that making this move would give us the safety, security, and a sense of peace that we would never find living in constant anxiety and fear in the United States as a mixed-race family. People love to say that the grass isn't greener on the other side, but those are the ones who never take a moment to look around them to see that theirs is burning. I'll be honest, living abroad isn't easy, and it isn't always sunshine and rainbows, but I don't have to worry about my safety or the safety of my family, and that alone was worth every sacrifice to start a new life in another country.
Here are 3 things I learned about American indoctrination.
And this couple, by the way, they live in Greece. The young lady that just spoke, her and her husband lives in Greece.
By raising kids outside of the United States. The first one is that compliance is the curriculum. Schools are not teaching critical thinking like you would expect them to be. Because if they did, they would teach people about financial literacy when they were young. But they don't. They teach them skills like memorization, following directions, respecting authority figures. These are not skills that they're going to need in the everyday world that we have created for them. So I realized that the entire schooling system is not set up to create successful kids unless they sort of succeed in spite of what is being taught to them. The second thing I've learned is that freedom propaganda starts from kindergarten. They are constantly trying to indoctrinate us that we only have freedom because of the men who fought for it. And yet we're not free.
If you're trying to grow a future successful contributing citizen of the world, not necessarily just the United States, are you going to stay in like the messy place to try to grow that? Are you going to put your seed into a sandy plant bed? No.
The best thing I ever did for my health, my mind, and my soul, and the benefit of my family was get the f out of the United States, man. That place is a work in progress, if you haven't noticed. If you got children and you love them, and you got health problems, you want to get healthier, you're depressed, or you feel bad, or like something's missing in your life, get out of the United States, man. I want to say like 50% of your problems will get better, and you don't even know it. People complaining about the food pyramid and carbs and breads. Psh, I eat pasta and bread every day, all day, man, and I feel great. I lost like most of the excess fat of my body. I got in better shape. My kids are happier, dude. My kids are living beautiful, wonderful lives that I envy. Things are only gonna get worse in the United States, man. And if we go to war or something, dude, pff, your boy is getting drafted, man. And I'll tell you this, if America goes to war, I'll fight in the war, okay? You want me to fight, I'll gladly fight for America. But for the women and children and the rest, pff, you want your life to improve? Leave the US, dude. Come here to Spain, come to Italy, come to France.
You want to know something? I'll give you a quote. We're a third world country now.
Now remember, this is the famous wrestler turned governor, Jesse Ventura. So if anybody knows how our government works, would be a former governor. Shout out to T-Mac on the Cash App, supporting the channel. Shout out to you guys who have been supporting by way of PayPal, Cash App, and Super Chats.
You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf, right? You know how I know we're a third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany and start comparing the tactics of what happened in 1930s Germany to what's happening here. Read history. You learn from history. And this is nothing new. This is all repeated. This is a game plan, it looks like to me.
Let's talk politics for a second, shall we? The game of politics is the game of distractions. The game of politics is a game of distractions. The mainstream media, right, left, Republican, Democrat, it is a game of distractions to keep you on your heels, not knowing which way is right, which way is wrong, which way is up, who's right, who's wrong. It's a game of distractions, and naturally they're winning. Take a look around. Take a look at our culture. The most savage thing that you can do is to establish your own morals and your own identity. Who are you? What does being a free man or a free woman look like to you? Deeply root that in your DNA, in your daily practice. Plant your flag. This is who we are and what we are. And guess what happens when they start blowing smoke your way? You're not distracted. The game of politics is a game of distraction. Don't get distracted.
90% of the people out there, they're all trapped in their own perception. They're all trapped in thinking emotionally. They don't even know that there's an alternative. Just think about this, man. The conversation we're having right now, the people who are hearing this conversation right now, who have never heard that there's a difference between perception and perspective, are already better equipped than all the other assholes who have never heard this conversation. That's the huge advantage to what CIA calls the trained and the untrained. Trained people at least are aware that there's an alternative option. Untrained people aren't even aware that there's an option. The vast majority of people out there are what I call bobbleheads. They don't even know there's an option. Say that again. You believe that the government is there to support you? Is that what you said?
No, I believe the government should be responsive to me. It works for me.
And that's what most people think. I'm going to bring that part back because this segment that we're in right now is very important. Most people think that the government works for you. The federal government works for you. That is not true. I'm going to say this again. I said this earlier. The federal government of the United States does not work for Americans. The states work for Americans. The federal government, its military, its politics, its positions, its cabinets, its courts work for the preservation and the longevity of America, Americans and America, the land thereof, our country 'tis of thee, are not the same people. We keep on spewing this term, you work for me, federal official, the president works for me, the government works, they don't work for you. You will come and you will die. I have come and someday I will die. Americans are replaceable. America is only one of a kind. You and I are not one of a kind. It is their job not to preserve Americans. It is the federal government's job to preserve the longevity and the preservation of America. So stop running around thinking that the government works for me, the government. No, they don't owe you a damn thing. That's why do you think America does not care about giving black folks reparation? Why do you think they don't think about that? Because they do not care about the preservation and the longevity of Americans. Y'all think that it's a race thing. It ain't just a race thing. If it does not have, if giving you reparations does not benefit America, you ain't gonna get them. FBA, I'm talking to you. ADOS, I'm talking to you. Hebrew Israelites, I'm talking to you. And all the rest of us that are sitting around waiting for reparations, Americans, it don't matter what race it is. Okay, name one race in America that got reparations. I'm not talking about the Jews after World War II, and I'm not talking about we sent money to Japan to help. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody that was a group living in America got 100% reparations. Oh, none? Name one. I want to see it in the comments. You know why? Because none of the reparations benefit America. And it is the government of America, the Indians and the Japanese in America. Thank you very much for that. So we got the Indians and the Japanese in America that got reparation, but not 100%. Name one that got 100% reparations. None. Why? Because for a president to sign off on that, it has to benefit in the long run America. A president is not in the position, FBA, to benefit Americans. Without Americans, there is no America. Like I said, they can get rid of all of us. And there are millions of people that will replace us. But America, the land, the country, is irreplaceable. So don't think that because America is irreplaceable, Americans are irreplaceable. We could be replaced, bruh. They can give citizenship to a whole new 400 million people that wasn't even initially born here, and there'll be a whole new 400 million people that's still up under the umbrella of the federal government of America, as long as America exists. Y'all can forget about the reparations. Does it benefit America? Well, economically, does it benefit America to give away money to Americans so y'all can give it back to America? No, it doesn't. And that's why you ain't gonna get it. Your reparations for real is your passport. Your passport will open up doors for you that you never imagined while you're sitting around waiting for the American government to give you the money. What happened to us, was it fair? No, it was not fair. In any sense of the word. But if you guys think that reparations are about to come, 100%, each American citizen that's FBA or ADOS is supposed to receive a million or 500,000 or 100,000. It ain't gonna happen. Why? Number one reason. You ready? It doesn't benefit America. It only benefits the Black Americans. And if it only benefits doesn't matter if you're Black, any Americans, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Your reparation is waiting for you at the post office. Your passport. Because reparations, you want it to be something that will change the trajectory of your life and your children's lives, correct? I'll say this again. ADOF, FBA, and all the rest of you groups. You want reparations so you can use it as a tool to change the trajectory, the direction of yourself and your family, right? It could be economics, it could be education, it could be anything, right? Why can't it be your passport? Why can't it be your passport? Why do you think your passport cannot take you to places that would change the trajectory or the direction of yourself and your family and your future? Why do you think that your passport cannot be reparations? So you think reparations can only be monetary? That's the only form of reparations? I say your reparations already exist at the post office. Fill out the form. Go to Walgreens or CVS and take a photo. Do not wear a white shirt. Take your glasses off. Take your photo. Get your passport. Use your passport. And watch what happens to your life. And watch what happens to the life of your children and the future children that will be born after you take advantage of using your passport. And I'm not just talking about for vacationing. I'm talking about for like you use your passport the way you would use money for reparation. You would use money for reparations to do what? Change the direction that your family is currently going, correct? That's what the 100,000 is for. If each one of us got 100,000, that's what the $1 million will be for. If each one of us got $1 million, right? To change the direction, to open up doors. I say your passport, your reparations is waiting for you. And it will do exactly for you what that $1 million would have did. Because America realizes that if you and I get $1 million or $100,000 a piece, if it does not benefit the country, the corporation known as America, they're not giving that money to Americans. Doesn't matter what race it is. So I'm not just talking about black folks. I'm talking about any race. They are not giving you that money. It does not benefit America to do it. And y'all gonna come up with all type of excuses like, if you get the money to the people, they're gonna spend it and help the economy stimulate. No, 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 it won't. How do you know, Andre? Guess what? America had $2.3 trillion in our bank accounts after we got out the house with COVID. I'll say this again. Americans had money on money on money because y'all want reparations. The reparations y'all want is money, right? So let's look at an example. FBA, ADOS, Hebrew Israelites. Let's look at an example of massive amount of Americans with a mass amount of money. And what did they do with it? We walked out of our apartments and our houses with $2.3 trillion in mid 2021, late 2021. We finally came out. We could finally come outside, no masks. Do you know that by September 2020, really kind of like around August 2022, we burned through the whole 2.3 trillion. You can look it up. Okay. Y'all always think Andre be lying about stuff. Let me pull this up. Oh, even worse, mind you. Here we go. Y'all know I love a good receipt. Love a good old-fashioned receipt. Screen share. Here we go. Let me know when y'all ready for some truth. Here we go. Let me bring this down, and I'm going to bring this up. Move myself out of the way. Here we go. I'm going to blow this up even more. All right, let's make sure you guys can see this. American households accumulated during the pandemic approximately 2.1, I said 2.3, 2.1 trillion in excessive savings. That's how much we saved during the pandemic because we wasn't outside, we weren't clubbing, we weren't traveling, we weren't partying. In our bank accounts, $2.1 trillion during the savings of COVID pandemic, driven by government stimulus and reduction of spending opportunities. We just ain't had the opportunity to spend our money. And having fully exhausted this surplus by March of 2024. We spent all this damn money in less than 2 years. Gone. I mean, gone. We went through inflation during the Biden administration. So if y'all think if you give a mass amount of money to Americans like we had, that Americans are going to do the right thing with it. The average American was saving roughly about $8,000 per. By August of 2021, we had 2.1 trillion. By March of 2024, we blew it all. Not in investments, not in buying property. Americans literally, it's kind of funny how I saw this like a few years back. I actually did a video on it. Americans literally blew through that money. We blew through it all. It wasn't like we got $2 trillion, dog, in our bank accounts. I'm about to buy me a house and a car. I'm good, and put some money in some investments. No, Americans ain't do that. Dude, by March, it said the average, not all, average American bank account was zero. We literally burned through $2 trillion, not 2 billion, not 2 million. We burned through that money. So when I tell you, if you give a mass amount of Americans money, they ain't gonna do the right thing. This is a perfect example of it. So don't tell me if we get reparations, we would do this, we would do. No, you would do what Americans do. Burn through the money. I'm gonna say this again, FBA, ADOS. If we did get reparations, we wouldn't do what Black people would do. We would do what Americans would do. No matter what race, we would burn through the money. Oh, y'all didn't think I was gonna pull out no receipts, huh? See, if I don't know nobody, I know my people. And I mean Americans. I'm not talking about no race. Black people, white people, Asian people, everybody burned through $2 trillion. This wasn't government money. This was money sitting in our personal bank accounts that we could have did anything with. This wasn't we sitting around waiting for the government to give us some money. It wasn't like, man, the IRS, this is our tax refund money. None of that. This was literally our money that was sitting in our bank accounts. And we ran through it to where the average American bank account by March was zero. Not all bank accounts, but the average was 0. Could you imagine? And y'all talk about reparations? Americans don't know nothing about money but spending it. He said this. Shout out to my man, International Quiet Storm. He said Dave Chappelle's skit showed exactly what black people would do if they, this is true, if they got the checks. This is true. So that's why I brought the receipt. Sold their homes and leveled up. You would think that we would have, wouldn't you? Nope. Americans got out of COVID and we just started spending. We could have invested that $2 trillion, but we didn't. Let's continue on, gentlemen. We're almost done.
Shouldn't be able to target me.
That's where we're fundamentally opposed to.
Let me go back to here.
We're having right now, the people who are hearing this conversation right now, who have never heard that there's a difference between perception and perspective, are already better equipped than all the other assholes who have never heard this conversation. That's the huge advantage to what CIA calls the trained and the untrained. Trained people at least are aware that there's an alternative option. Untrained people aren't even aware that there's an option. The vast majority of people out there are what I call bobbleheads. They don't even know there's an option. Say that again. You believe that the government is there to support you? Is that what you said?
No, I believe the government should be responsive to me. It works for me.
This is what the average American thinks. Let's continue on.
It shouldn't be able to target me.
That's where we're fundamentally opposed to.
I'm sure.
Because the government does not work for us. That is not what
I'm saying. It should.
It should not. The government is there to ensure the continuation of the American ideal. That's the purpose of the government. That's the purpose of the government. That's the purpose of the government. The government is there to ensure the continuation of the American ideal. That's the purpose of the government. It is not there to serve you.
That doesn't even mean anything, though, the American ideal.
The American ideal means everything.
What is that?
If every American is destroyed, if every American is killed, with the exception of the people in government, the president, whatever you want to call it, one congressperson, one senator, then the American government continues. America is defined not by its people, by its government. America is defined not by its people, not by its people, not by its people, by its government. America is defined not by its people, by its government. That's what we went to war with the British about. We could have been colonists, we could have been communities, we could have been people, we could have been collections, but the right to sovereign independence is a government thing. The government exists to survive. The government exists to survive, The government exists to survive and serve the continuation of the government of the United States, not the American people.
You see what I'm saying?
The American people, not the American people, and serve the continuation of the government of the United States, not the American people. That's part of the ideological hogwash that we were all taught in elementary school civics that just isn't true.
So I moved out of America for the first time in my life 7 months ago, and all my friends from home now would say I've gotten really liberal since moving to Europe. But the truth is, I've just left America for the first time in my life and started seeing fucking reality. And the truth is, we're being lied to. I don't mean to sound so like negative and like fuck America. I'm very proud to have been born and raised in New York. But my message today is the propaganda machine you were fed is so much louder than you realize. And the world is so much bigger than your hometown and what the media fucking tells you.
I sold everything I own and I moved back to Madrid. I told myself I'm not living in the United States of America. That place is a scam. Literally, that country's a business. Everything is literally run like a business in that country. Literally quit everything. I sold my car. I literally sold all my stuff as it is. And I said, fuck it, I'm not going back there at all. It's over, you know? I'll go back and visit, but I have no reason to live in the United States of America. I can't stand the country. I think it's literally a place to brainwash people with the propaganda. And I said enough is enough. So if you want me to move abroad, it's possible. I did this in Thailand, South Korea, Mexico, now Spain.
I moved to Mexico 15 years ago.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people didn't realize that Jesse Ventura moved to Mexico 15 years ago. I did know that. Once he was done being a politician, he left. He saw the writing on the wall and he left.
Living in Mexico for 15 years every winter, I live an hour from pavement and an hour from electricity. I live off the grid.
Who do you take with you down there?
I take my pickup truck, my wife, and my dog.
And was there a reason you guys chose down that area?
No, like my life, a Y came in the road.
Yeah.
I took it. No, what happened, I had just come out of office and I needed a break being governor.
Once you leave America, you ain't never going back. Honestly, I left like almost 2-3 years ago, and ever since I left America, I've been nothing but happy, nothing but blessed, nothing but grateful. But when I was living in America, I was nothing but depressed. I was miserable. I was living in that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. Just know, the minute you leave America, your happiness, your depression, all that gets a lot better. When you're in America, bro, that shit is miserable.
What freedom do you think you actually have in the United States? What freedom does the average American actually have? You don't have the freedom you think you have.
You have the freedom to own guns. You have the freedom to peacefully protest. You have the freedom of assembly. You have the right to free speech, which is, to me, the most important one. That's why it's number one.
No freedom of speech in America either. No freedom of speech in America either. No right to bear arms in America either. Everything you niggas swearing that you down for. Charlie Kirk, he died because he had a different opinion. He had freedom of speech. Why they suppress your freedom of speech and you continue to support them? These people are brainwashed and they are in a cult. And anybody with any fucking heart, anybody who's been engaged in the fight against this government, because we've been dealing with fascism as black Americans since we've been here. We've been dealing with tyranny from this government since we've been here.
There's no right to free speech in the workplace. Somewhere along the way, employees were led to believe that they could say anything in the workplace without consequences, and nothing can be further from the truth, especially if you work for a private employer. In case you haven't noticed, corporations operate more like dictatorships and not democracies. They're not going to outright censor you, but the moment that you speak your mind on an issue or a policy and it's perceived as negative, insubordinate, or offensive to someone, they're going to target you and get you out of there.
Hang on one sec, John. Do you got anything for me? He can't. Unbelievable. He's on his phone. He could be Googling. It's just it's crazy. It's, but you do it on the computer so you look like you're working, dude. You look like you're on Twitch right now. It's crazy.
So here's what's crazy.
These kids.
Every one of the rights, because you just listed off rights, not freedoms. Every one of the rights that you just listed off. Do you know where a right comes from?
God?
No.
That's what they say.
That's not what they say. Your rights come from the Declaration of Independence, as well as the amendments that were passed to you by who?
By the government.
So all of your rights are actually given to you by the government, which is why your rights can be
taken away.
But when you go behind bars, they take your rights away. When you sign up for the military, they take your rights away. When you break a law, they take your rights away. Not everybody has the right to bear arms. Plenty of people can't buy arms. You have to have a background check, and plenty of people don't pass that background check. You don't have the right to free speech. You have the right to free speech up to a certain point where you might cross a line and become illegal in the speech that you're speaking. And free speech only really relates to your opinion about the government. It has nothing to do with your opinion about another civilian. That is legally protected as fighting words or.
That's a good point. I never thought about that. Your freedom of speech only applies to government if you use freedom of speech towards another civilian. You can be sued, like Cardi B sued Tasha K for slander. Like we've seen other people on YouTube use their freedom of speech against another person and end up losing their channel or have to take that video down or end up in court because of it. Man, I never thought about that. You do not have freedom of speech like we think we do. Our freedom of speech has certain, can I say, small prints that we don't think about. You have the freedom of speech to speak against governments, but you do not have the freedom of speech to speak against or slander citizens. The things you don't realize, man.
Or words that can be seen as aggressive. So whether you say shit about the government may or may not come back on you, but you definitely don't have a freedom of speech to talk shit about another company, which is why they can sue you for what you say, and it's called slander.
Right. They can sue you, of course, but
of course.
Do you see the problem with saying, yeah, you have a right, you have a right to free speech up to a certain point. So the government now wants to keep moving that goalpost.
It's always been that way.
They're making it more and more narrow, dude. Look at in Britain.
I agree. I don't disagree.
Look what they're doing in Britain, dude. They're arresting people for speaking out against Israel.
This conversation started with you saying we have certain freedoms. I am telling you we don't have those freedoms. You have now just confirmed that even the things that we have that are rights are still not actual freedoms. It's funny to me when you see people reference the same small handful of countries where they highlight that socialism is a success story, especially when you consider that many of those same countries are actually monarchies.
Before we go any further, just to let you guys know, this ex-CIA agent is moving his family to Uruguay. We've been hearing a lot of stuff about positive things about Uruguay, Paraguay area. And after all his travels and all his dealings with other countries as a CIA agent, he is going to be moving his wife and his children. He said he wants to do it by 2027. I believe that he will. He said, but no later than 2030. And he's moving his children and his family to Uruguay. Just to want to give you guys a heads up on where he's headed to.
Mm-hmm. We fought a war to not be part of a monarchy, and now we're referencing current monarchies as signs of wealth and success. If you want to be a monarchy, I'm pretty sure we have a president in office that would be okay with being the first new monarch, right? But we fought a war to not be controlled by a monarch. Don't reference other countries as signs of socialist success when they are actually monarchy countries that are being successful. Socialist countries are failing. France is an actual socialist country, and they're burning cars in the streets. They've had 5 different prime ministers in the last 2 years. They are more in debt than they are making per year, right? And they're still in a better debt position than we are in the United States, meaning the United States is in even worse financial trouble than France is in.
This is by far one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen. So a scary post online claims that most breakfast cereals have so many chemicals in them that they can be used as a fire starter in the event of an emergency. All you have to do is pour the cereal into a bowl, light a match, and it supposedly catches fire instantly. Now, I had to try this out and I was horrified of the results.
No lighter fluid. No lighter fluid, no gasoline, no grease, just a small flame in the cereal that we feed our children in the United States. And he could have, this is a crazy part, he could have randomly grabbed cereal. It's not a specific one. It's all cereals in the United States are flammable.
This is a can of Fanta in America, and this is a can of Fanta in England. They are both the same flavor of orange, but look at the color.
Coming from the same company. That's probably the crazy, bruh. Probably the part that pisses me off with food corporations is that our own corporations that make these products in our country with U.S. workers give us Americans the trash version from that exact plant, that same company. and will have us as Americans create a healthy version of whatever it is and ship the healthy version to other countries. That one blows my mind every single time. U.S. workers cannot get access to the healthy version of the product that they are literally creating and shipping out.
Difference. That looks like a radioactive chemical. The total sugars in the American one is 44 grams of sugar, and the sugars in a British one is 15 grams. I think this should be illegal.
Guys, want to know how we're doing in Massachusetts? We got a $5 eggplant. We've got a $6 cauliflower. I'm not crying, it's just my eyeballs from my Ehlers-Danlos. We got an $8 broccoli.
$8 from broccoli. $6 for cauliflower. Boy, y'all paying.
And $4 for a Swiss chard. Where do you live, and what do your groceries cost?
I went to the grocery store in Colombia with $24 and left with food for the entire week.
So she said, what do your foods look like in your grocery store? Well, let's look at the foods in my grocery store here in Colombia. Shout out to Exito.
Grocery stores here are literally so clutch. They have literally everything you could imagine. Fresh produce, cooked food, whole seasoned chickens, already cut fruit. Like, it's giving convenience and flavor all in one. And honestly, guys, the prices, oh my God. I got some ground beef for $3 and some cut up pineapple for 50 cents. They also have a full-on panaderia inside where you can get all of your fresh bread right on the spot. I didn't even plan for this to be a big shopping trip. I was just picking up a few things, and somehow I ended up with breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the entire week. Now that I think about it, $24 at a grocery store in the United States, that'll barely feed you for a day. Cutting expenses like this is honestly one of the biggest reasons why I relocated abroad, and this stuff just reminds me why it was such the right call.
Packaged snacks. This one makes no sense. Fresh fruit in Colombia? Incredible. Cheap everywhere. A mango costs almost nothing, but a bag of potato chips, that's a decision. Even though they're made here, even though the potatoes are local. You grab a bag casually, then you look at the price and pause. Not dramatically, just quietly. Like, interesting. You start noticing the pattern. Whole foods, affordable. Processed foods in shiny bags, not as much. You can buy a full meal of fresh ingredients for less than a couple bags of chips, which is probably healthier, but still, sometimes you just want chips. Crunch is a thing, and when you do, they feel important. It's one of those moments where you realize Colombia rewards you for cooking and mildly judges you for snacking. And honestly, that might be fair.
Anywhere we go, we're going to be Americans. We may become Americans who also have dual citizenship, but we're always going to be Americans. Because what I want is to give my children the opportunity in the future to choose which passport they carry in which country. When you're only an American citizen and you have a passport, which interestingly is only 25% of American citizens have a passport, when you are an American citizen traveling on an American passport, there's only certain places you can go. And anywhere you go, you are very clearly an American citizen and can be targeted as such. When you have dual citizenship, you can choose what passport you're carrying. Even if that means you travel on an American passport from point A to point B, you can travel on a second passport from point B to point C. That's a big part of how we executed our operations in our shadow cell. So we want to give our children that flexibility, but we also want to give them the opportunity to understand the United States is a special place. The freedoms that we have here are special. The wealth that we have here is special. You know, even the traffic patterns that we have here are unique compared to any place else in the world. You go to Vietnam and they don't even follow the traffic laws, right? So we want to give our children that opportunity. The second reason that we're leaving is more my own personal preference. I know that the United States is in the position to have a very difficult 10 to 15 years ahead of it.
What should the poverty line be? Right now it's $31,000, but there's an argument out there that it should be something more like $100,000 or even $140,000. depending on where you live. Wrote a piece about the poverty line saying it should be $140,000. It went wildly viral. Explain why you think $31,000 is inadequate.
Well, first, to understand what that 31,000 is coming from, it is an old derivation of an estimate of family in crisis.
We're dumb as hell. Over half of Americans read below a 6th grade level. Not struggling readers, bro. The majority of Americans. And before you say, oh, that's poor communities. Nah, dude, it's y'all rich people too. More than income, more than your neighborhood. And this is the thing. This is America. The land of opportunity. So you could be a dumb motherfucker and still be rich.
So frustrating to see all these weird politicians, like, basically begging people to have children, when it's really clear and evident that the United States has sacrificed its young people. They sacrificed us. They left us for the dogs. Housing is not affordable. Groceries are not affordable. Education is not affordable. Nothing is affordable to thrive and like actually live. But they want us to have children? What? Just so they can have the same experiences? Like, I'm so good.
High school teachers are quitting and warning America about the future of our workforce. Here's why.
As somebody that taught high school and basically educating our new young adults, every last one of us should be scared. These kids cannot read. They cannot write. There is no type of comprehension skills, no type of critical thinking. They cannot do anything on their own.
I'm of the experience level, the age, the wealth demographic that I don't have to put my children through that awkward time frame. I don't have to put my wife and I through that awkward time frame.
And that
what freedoms?
That is the end of our video for today. And once again, this is not to belittle or make light of what's taking place in the United States. I really don't do that. The CIA agent wasn't. Our brother, the nomad capitalist, he doesn't. And any other content creator does not take it lightly what's taking place in the United States. The choice is up to you, gentlemen. I know many of you have responsibilities back in the States, and I understand that you're going to take your time to make sure that they're taken care of. I got that. But as for staying in the States, that's up to you too. Once again, this channel is never encouraging Americans to leave America. But I'm here to tell you about what's going on in America if you decide to stay. So if you decide to stay, and I'm talking about for a lifetime, I'm not talking about for 10 years and so forth. I understand that part. You got responsibilities. But if you decide to stay for a lifetime, so be it. I'm on your team. But I'm here to at least share with you what's taking place and what will take place in the future. So shout out to all you guys. Yeah, he gave up his citizenship, didn't he? I know, right? He was like, I'm out. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Corporal says this. Shout out to Corporal in the building. Corporal says the digital nomad capitalist or the nomad capitalist showed how to acquire another citizenship after living in these other countries or any of these countries for a few years. Absolutely correct. He said, I'm about to get another passport for multiple citizenships. Shout out to you, brother. All right, guys, let me let you guys get you some rest. He say, this is why I only drink water. For facts. He said, let me let you guys get some rest. Let's do an outro video. And I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be seeing you guys mañana, tomorrow. We got a great one tomorrow. Part 2 to women proposing to men. Ugh. Crazy. Let's go here. We haven't done this one in a while. Let's see.
Vamos a bailar.
sala está llena de gente, cuerpos sudorosos acá. La pista está hirviendo, pero te destaca mamá, brillando como una estrella. Mira qué bonita está, escucha el coro mamita que te voy a dar. Sandunguera, sandunguera, balanchera, vamos a bailar, vamos a bailar. Sandunguera, balanchera, vamos a bailar. Ay, siempre un paso para adelante, después un paso para atrás. Ahora te suelto mamita, muévete con el ritmo que va. Sandunguera te estoy llamando, mira qué bonita estás. Escucha el coro de nuevo que te voy a dar. Sandunguera, sandunguera, balanchera, vamos a bailar. Vamos a bailar, vamos a gozar. Sandunguera, balanchera, vamos a bailar. ¡Ay! Sandunguera linda, vamos a bailar tú y yo. ¡Ay, qué sabroso! Vamos a bailar, mi nena linda, vamos a gozar. Vamos a gozar. Muévete, sandunguera, vamos a guarachar. Ay, repítelo. Vamos a bailar, mi nena linda, vamos a gozar. Ay, vamos a guarachar, mamá. Sandunguera, vamos a guarachar. Oye, mira, mami, vamos a gozar, vamos a bailar. Vamos a gozar. Juntos tú y yo en la pista, mami. Vamos a guarachar. Ahora estamos tú y yo en la pista. Vamos a gozar. Ay, esa cosa que me hiciste, mami, me gustó.